It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Last Friday, the San Juan Broncos suffered their first loss in over 3 years in the 2024 season opener in Grantsville. Tonight, they're set for the home opener, looking to get back in the win column against their second straight 3A North opponent. Live from the San Juan High School football field, it's the Broncos taking on the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. Welcome to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed, welcome to San Juan High School. It is the site of the second game of the 2A 2024 high school football season. The San Juan Broncos looking to bounce back from that tough loss at Grantsville last week and get in the win column this week against Art, what's going to be another tough team. It is Rhett Sifford and Art Adair with you again tonight, welcoming you in for some Friday Night Lights here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's been an interesting day. We weren't 100% sure we'd be on the radio today. For those of you who are religious listeners of Red Rock 92 or faithful listeners, you know we've been having some technical difficulties all the way since last night. And so I think we've got those squared away, and I think we're on the radio, and I think we're streaming on the video. So we do welcome you in. And Art, like I said, this is going to be no slouch against San Juan tonight. This is going to be another tough opponent from the 3A North. Not predicted to be as amazing as Grantsville, if you will, but, you know, who knows how much weight to put on those predictions, preseason predictions. The one thing for Juan Diego tonight is they're going to be missing their starting quarterback, the senior.
Yeah, a lot of predictions go into what you came out of last year with, and we all know you graduated a ton of seniors. Everybody graduates some key seniors every year, no matter what classification you're in. But San Juan playing up again tonight, 3A team, a 3A team that took on a 5A team last week and barely lost to Alta up there in the 5A division. So a very worthy opponent tonight, and San Juan's going to have to clean up some things, play a little better football tonight if they expect to get back in that win column.
Yeah, when you look at Juan Diego, they did give up that lead and lost a close one. They took Alta to the wire, but Alta scored late to win that one in a comeback, 35-31. So you know this Juan Diego team is going to be looking to get back against it here against San Juan. But, of course, the quarterback, Mezzinin, I believe is how you pronounce his name, was going to be playing in this game, Hayden Mezzinin, but after 4 passing attempts last week, he did suffer a severe injury, and so he's going to be out for the foreseeable future for this Soaring Eagle team. So now we don't even really know who's going to be taking the spot here tonight. There's a couple guys who are warming up, but we'll have to see.
And here's the thing with losing your starting quarterback. They run a pro-style tight end set, that triple option offense, and so anytime you take a key cog out of that offense, that could throw the timing off, could throw the rhythm off, because they're looking to make that first read, that first inside dive handoff within a matter of seconds from that snap. I mean, even half a second from the snap. It's so quick on that first read on that pro formation, that triple option they run. And so that might be something that San Juan can key off of tonight to disrupt the flow of their offense. Anytime you throw a new player into there that doesn't have all the reps, you know, that you got with all the varsity guys, that could be big for the Broncos tonight and detrimental to the Juan Diego Soaring Eagles.
Well, I know I'd talked with Bobby Bowering, the defensive coordinator, and he says no matter what, they'll be ready, knowing that the starting quarterback for the Soaring Eagle is out. It doesn't matter to them. They're going to be ready. This is a run-heavy team anyway, like you say, but the timing is going to be key on that. They ran, let's see, it doesn't show the total yardage. I'd have to do some math here, I guess. Let's see, 51-98. It looks like they ran for about 170, 180 yards last week. So that's not going to break the bank, I don't think. But when you look at what they did passing-wise, just 124 yards there. So really not a huge amount of offense in that game, with just judging by the points that we saw on the scoreboard in that game. So a little bit of a surprise. This is the Deseret News. Max Preps didn't have any stats, so I wonder if some stuff is missing from this game. But at any rate, that's what it shows. You look, this is only the second meeting between these two teams. San Juan beat them last year 40-6 in their first ever meeting. So the Broncos will look to continue that here tonight. But of course, they had a lot to look at this week also with some of the things that didn't go right for them last week. And we'll talk about those in just a little bit. But as we continue with the pregame show here on Friday Night Lights, we do want to get a chance to talk with what is a brand new head coach for this Juan Diego team. And his name is Danny Larson, first-year head coach. He talks about wanting to restore the former glory to this Juan Diego squad. Let's hear what he has to say as his team gets set to take on the tough San Juan Broncos here this evening.
Coach, tell me about, I know that was a tough loss for you guys last week. You took a good team to the wire, unfortunately gave up a lead, but I know that makes you guys hungry in this game.
Yeah, I was actually pretty proud of our guys afterwards because they were angry about it, right? Around the community, everybody's pretty happy, right? Moral victories, but we weren't, and the kids weren't. So they took it serious. They came in. They were bent out of shape because they felt like they were the better team.
Well, I know that's going to make you a tougher team this week.
Yeah, we put in the work that needed to be done. I mean, we suffered some pretty serious injuries that we're going to have to fight through tonight, but next man up, right?
Right. Well, Coach, I know it's early on, but tell me about your team, your strengths, and maybe weaknesses.
You know, it's a pretty talented senior class, right? And so it's built on the senior class, and we're rebuilding this program, getting it back to where the glory days, right? And so our whole mission has been honor the past, right? Compete in the present and invest in the future. Those are our three models, and we do everything to underneath that. And these kids they're buying into the new system.
How have you prepared against San Juan here tonight?
I mean, this is a good football team. Utmost respect, right? They've earned that, and so we've just taken everything we've done seriously, and we have, I mean, recent history, right? We just a year ago they came up to our place and took it to us. So
first meeting ever.
Yeah, and we're still feeling that. Yeah. So yeah, this is a good football team. We have a lot of respect for them, and we were actually excited to come back down here. So.
What is it you need to do against them here tonight?
Well, we need to play Juan Diego football. We need to control the clock. And then we can control the clock and then even make them, even if they score, we need to make them make long drives. We can't give up quick scores. We give up quick scores and get in the track meet. That doesn't bode well for us. But we do our game, we can compete with anybody.
Awesome, Coach. We appreciate it. Good luck. Have fun out there tonight, man.
Thank you, sir.
And we do want to say, Coach, thanks Larson for visiting, to Coach Larson. Thanks to Coach Larson is what I was trying to say. And I don't know, really, it's kind of a crapshoot now, not knowing exactly what they're going to bring to the table tonight with the quarterback out. But like we've already said, Art, this is going to be a team that's going to try to start running the ball downhill on the Broncos tonight. If they can establish that running game, if they can get that timing clicking, I think it's going to be a handful for the Broncos here tonight.
Well, the coach said it right when in his pregame there. They want to control the clock. They like to run that inside run to that up back, and they like to run that little option outside. And they will throw the ball here and there if they feel like the defense is kind of cheating down, putting 8-9 guys in the box. But look for them to want to establish their run game, pick up 3-4 yards of carry, and just move the chains down the field. And they'll do it, 10-minute drive. They don't care. You read the stats earlier, and that's exactly why there's not a ton of stats, because you don't need a lot of stats if you're just controlling the ball, controlling the clock, and just moving it slowly, methodically down the field. So I look for San Juan to have to be big inside the tackles tonight, because he might be the backup quarterback coming in, and there might be some timing issues, but he's probably taken 1 reps throughout the week. He's probably all week since their quarterback probably got hurt in the Alta game. And so he's got some, and anytime you come in as a backup, you got that chip on your shoulder. He wants to come out here and make an impression. He wants to, even when their starter comes back, he wants to say, hey, I earned the starting job. Right. How many times have we seen that happen in football teams? But yeah, it's going to be Juan Diego football. I'm surprised a 3A school, typically you see these 3A, 4A, 5A, and even most of 2As, they love the spread. They love the high power, high motion offenses, go down and score quick, put up big numbers. Juan Diego, they're true to who they are, and they want to run the ball.
Yeah, one thing we saw last week at Grantsville for San Juan is once the blocking for Grantsville started sealing those defensive tackles, all of a sudden that running back started to get some production in the second half.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Coach Bowering, I imagine, we're not talking about them right now, but throw this in there. I imagine he's going to have to come out and not run his 3-5 like he loves to do. He's going to have to run a 4-3, 4-4, something like that to keep the box honest.
Then the other thing I think San Juan struggled last week was letting guys behind him in the secondary. And obviously with a quarterback like Van Vliet, he was able to victimize the Broncos defense. Maybe not the passing attack, especially now with a backup quarterback in for Juan Diego, but that's something that they need to keep in mind as well.
Well, and they're only going to run 2 receivers split each way. Sometimes they'll go doubles to one side, but you've got to pay attention to their tight end. They run that tight end in there, and he does a lot of blocking. They like to use him as an extra blocker, heavy on that line for that run game. But coaches in the box, they're going to be watching. How do you respect him? Do you pick him up on when he goes out 5-6 yards and does a sit route, or are you letting him just sit there and go? And they'll pick up on that. So San Juan, their secondary's got to be huge tonight. I imagine you're not going to see a lot of zone. You're not going to see a lot of over-the-top coverage. Coach Byron probably go man-to-man because, like I said, you're only going to have two receivers. And really with a run-heavy team, you kind of cheat to the inside and say, hey, well, okay, we know what you're about. If you want to beat us with your arm, try to beat us with your arm, and you try to put your best athletes out there. So I think it's going to come down to that, in between the tackles tonight.
All right, that's a quick look at the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. Again, it's a little bit up in the air with a backup quarterback coming in here tonight. Starting quarterback Hayden Mezzanine is out with an injury, so a little bit of a shakeup, a little bit of adjustment needing to happen for this Juan Diego team. We'll see it here tonight after kickoff. We'll continue the pregame show here on Friday Night Lights. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about the San Juan Broncos. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Hi everyone, I'm Lieutenant John Young with the San Juan County Sheriff's Office. Our job is to protect and serve those who live in this great county we call home. Youth are a very important part of our communities. It is normal for children to become more independent and mature as they get older, but parental involvement drops by half between the 6th and 12th grade when our kids need us the most. To help stay involved and connected with your children, just ask the 5 W's. Where are you going? What are you doing? Who will you be with? When will you be home? And will there be drugs or alcohol? It's not being nosy, it's being a good parent. So come on, San Juan County, let's do this.
You don't have to be sidelined by sports injuries in San Juan County. Precision Rehab provides physical therapy in Monticello and Blanding, as well as Montezuma Creek and Monument Valley, where our therapists have helped athletes of all ages get back in the game since 1996. Precision Rehab is dedicated to restoring you and your loved ones to peak performance when pain and injury slow you down. We offer innovative, effective treatments that make a difference. Treatment is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Call 435-678-3869 for an appointment. That's 435-678-3869. Or find out more at PrecisionRehabUtah.com.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing in Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook. Coach, tell me about, I know that was a tough loss for you guys last week. You took a good team to the wire, unfortunately gave up a lead, but I know that makes you guys hungry in this game.
Yeah, I was actually pretty proud of our guys afterwards because they were angry about it, right? Around the community, everybody's pretty happy, right? Moral victories, but we
back in. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Rhett Sifford and Art Adair here with you. We're going to talk about the San Juan Broncos as we come back. We do want to let you know that Friday Night Lights brought to you in part by Bradford Tire at the center of it all at 39 East Center in Blanding. And Colleen Kays, author of the 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power here this evening. And just taking a look at the Broncos again, as we said in this series, they lead 1-0. Only one meeting between these two teams. Last year's 40-6 win, but last week against Grantsville, San Juan allowing 539 yards of total offense and 6 touchdowns, 275 yards through the air, 4 TDs, and 264 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. So that's something the Broncos are going to look to shut down. We do have an opportunity now to talk with head coach Barkley Christensen, and as they get set for the national anthem here tonight, we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll continue talking about the Broncos as soon as we hear from Coach Christensen.
Coach, I know you've been working since I last spoke to you, trying to get better. I know that's your mantra. That's what you do. What was it that let's start with what you saw last week that you liked.
I loved how we fought back in a game when a lot of people could have wrote us off when we got down big in the third quarter. Came back and tied it. We fought till the very end. Kids were disappointed. The passion, the care, the fight was all there, and that's what I was proud about.
What were the things that you guys have had to work on this week?
I think just simplifying things down. There were so many just little mental mistakes, formation type mistakes. I think I got a little bit too used to last year. I was a little bit bored last year scoring a lot, so we were able to add a bunch of things throughout the week. And because those kids had run the same playbook for 2 years, but these kids have it. So I think just simplifying things down to where we're not making simple formation mistakes. Things you probably don't really notice when you watch the game just because we're running the play, but certain guys aren't getting blocked just because of where guys are, and just really simplified things down this week.
What's the feeling you've gotten from the boys? Bus ride home and now this week to get ready for this game. How do you think they're feeling?
I think they're okay. They were disappointed, obviously, but it doesn't feel like they've been just total demoralized by it. They're okay. They understand the long-term goal of this whole thing is to win a state championship. Somebody asked me, would you rather win the state championship and lose the streak like you did, or would you rather keep the streak, win the semifinal game, break the record, but lose in the state championship? It's no brainer. I mean, the streak doesn't, it obviously was fun, but the state championship is what is important.
So this is a big team across the way here. This is they're not predicted quote to finish high up in their region, but this is a big team. They're definitely going to be a challenge for you tonight.
Yeah, they're huge and they're physical. I mean, this is a good football team. If they're playing 2A football, they're in the conversation for a title contender. Absolutely. I don't know why they're not getting the love. I think just because of the coaching turnover they've had, but they beat the Grantsville team last year and they returned more guys. So I mean, they're a dang good football team, and we know that. They're big and physical, and we got our work cut out for us. I mean, two tough teams right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, they're obviously looking to get in the win column. A tough loss for them, giving up a lead last week.
Yeah, against I think Alto was a 5A quarterfinalist or semifinalist last year. So, I mean, it wasn't like they were playing a slouch team. So, they're going to be hungry too. We got a battle on our hands. I'm excited. It's what we want.
What's the preparation for them? What do you have to do to shut them down?
Oh man, they are in your face, run the football. We got to stop their dive. Got to stop their dive. They just want to run, get downhill. Defensively, they kind of play a bend but don't break defense. They give us a lot short, and we just got to be content with that. I think last year, myself included, we all got a little impatient. We wanted that big play right now, and we got to be patient and drive the football and just take what they give us.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you. Good luck tonight. Get back in that win column, sir.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Coach Christensen for chatting with us tonight as we get set to go. The national anthem is in the books. The coin toss happening right now, so we'll find out very shortly exactly what's about to happen. We usually expect San Juan to receive opening kicks. That happened last week. Jayton Knight threw for 302 yards last week and 2 touchdowns in the losing effort. He also ran the ball 14 times for 55 yards and an additional touchdown. So, Art, Jayton Knight, I know you want to avoid the letdown, the feeling of letting people down. We talked about that last week, but Jayton Knight had a pretty good game in his first varsity game. And it's really what's most important, I think, for this team in Game 2 is how they come back from last week's loss.
Yeah, I agree. And there were some rough edges, like Coach said, team-wise, coach-wise. It's a new year. It's a new bunch of kids. But the thing I was most impressed by Jayton was how he came out after halftime and continued to battle into the third and fourth quarter and give them a chance to win the game. And so he could have hung his head, and said, oh, this isn't going my way. But he came out and he kept battling. That's the kind of kid you want leading your team, a kid that's going to battle. He's going to let the bad things go and just continue to play the next down. And so hopefully, they come out, good week of practice, and just put that behind them, put this in front of them, and go out and play the football game that they can. And it's like I had an opportunity to talk to a couple of these kids after that game. Jayton was one of them. And just, they got to be them. They can't be last year's team. They got to be this year's team. And they got to play to their skill set and their, abilities. And you can't say, well, we threw for X amount of yards last year and we were scoring all the time. At the end of the game, whoever's up by 1 wins the game. So It don't matter. You don't have to score 60. You got to score 1 more than they do. So I like the attitude. Hopefully come out here and just go to work.
And they will be kicking to start the game, so kind of strange.
Juan Diego won the toss, and they know. They've watched enough film to know giving San Juan the ball.
That's right. So Jayton Knight, the quarterback, kicks it away, and we are underway here tonight. This ball is going to go back into the end zone. It was stepping on the line and allowed to return it out, and San Juan swashbuckles the returner, Antonio Archuleta, at the 10, maybe just past the 10 to the 12-yard line. So that's where we're going to see the Juan Diego offense come out for the first time tonight. And who is going to be behind center is the question that still remains to be answered. And they are slow to come out on the field. Set to go now. And let's see who we got behind center. And again, a run-heavy offense, and we'll see what happens. Let's see, Archuleta is in the backfield. Okay, it's number 11. So it is Tage McKinley, the quarterback. And working from under center, and now did San Juan jump offside on the hard count? So they did, and it will be an encroachment to start the game. So in a game last week where San Juan struggled with the penalties, I can't necessarily blame them for all of those. But, and Art, if we see a game like we saw last week, we're going to be here until midnight tonight now with the delayed start due to lightning. San Juan swallowing up the option here and unable to go anywhere is Tage McKinley. They stop him in the backfield for a couple-yard loss.
Yeah, great job by Brandon Bethea to get in there and break down. He hits the quarterback, doesn't make the tackle, but gives the Broncos enough time to rally around him and make it. And now, you watch Juan Diego. They like to do this delayed where the quarterback will say set, and they'll pause, and then they'll go down. They'll say down, set. And so if you watch the JV game, they did that a lot, and they got the JV team jump. You just need to be aware that that's what they're doing every time.
And unfortunately, we don't know what year in school Tage McKinley is, but the quarterback this time hands off left guard, and getting maybe those yards back is number 8, Antonio Archuleta, on his first carry from scrimmage, but it will be a 3rd down and 5. So a 2-yard loss, a 2-yard gain on the ground, and it is a 3rd down and 5, a big 3rd down here early for the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle.
So we have McKinley says he's a junior on Max Preps.
Okay. So we're going to assume as a junior quarterback, they hand to Archuleta, and he springs free, this time off left guard, and gets some good positive yardage for Juan Diego for a 1st down.
Yeah, that's one of those quick hitters that you got to be aware of, and it looks like Coach Bowring's come out with a 4-man front here, playing that outside backer, kind of tight to the line, playing his 2, but yeah, they've got to really seal down those gaps in the middle. That's so integral right there within a yard of the ball. That back in that throw formation is only standing, it looks like maybe 2.5, 3 yards off the ball. So that transaction happens quickly.
And that was a 12-yard run for Antonio Archuleta, a big one on 3rd down. And Juan Diego converts their first 3rd down try of the night. 1st and 10 at the Juan Diego 29. And now McKinley will hand off. New man carrying this time. It's Buckley. Corbin Buckley gets around the outside of the San Juan D. He'll have enough for a 1st down, but there is a flag on the field. So we will see if this comes back. That's a high possibility, I think.
It looks like it was a holding. And J.V. Montella out there to make that. And that was just that outside run. And that's what that inside run does. It sucks you into that box. And your outside backers, your DNs, they start coming down inside so hard that it's not that hard to seal outside.
So this will back Juan Diego up on the hold. And they will have a 1st down, and it looks like 15 after the penalty.
In San Juan, they're got a new dial-a-down over there. It's digital.
I see it.
See that?
Yeah, it's bright and digital. It is beautiful. So I don't know. See, I'm not 100% sure whether Corbin Buckley gets the 10-yard run there, and then
no, because they're replaying it down.
That's what I thought. So, but the penalty is from the spot, and now flags fly again as Juan Diego snaps the ball. So false start on the Soaring Eagle. We'll back him up another 5 yards. So now Juan Diego shooting themselves in the foot a bit will face a 1st down and 20 back at the 20-yard line on their own side of midfield.
And with the way they approach the ball and they get set, sometimes you're going to throw your own team off there.
Yep.
Because you got to be in unison. One can't go 10 minutes after the rest of them. They all of them got to go.
Sun now appears on the field once again. We have had storms roll through, bringing lightning and rain to the area. Had a 30-minute delay here on the start of this game. On my way down from Monticello, the lightning was beautiful up against the mountain, so that is what delayed us a bit. And we are now just a couple minutes into this one as Corbin Buckley gets his first official carry, and he's going to be stopped short after just a couple-yard gain for Juan Diego.
And a great read there by Brandon Bethea. They run that motion out of that pro formation, bring that outside back across the formation, trying to get those outside backers to flow out, those DNs to widen to get that inside run, and Branton wouldn't bite on it. He comes downhill and makes a great tackle.
You've already called his name on a couple big tackles already.
He's excited out there. He's pumped.
Second down, and it looks like 17 to go here for Juan Diego. They have the football just outside their own 20 as McKinley pitches on the move with the option here, and it goes to Archuleta, and he's not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard on that pitch. So it will be a third down and still long, third down and 16 to go.
And your Bronco quarterback, Jayton Knight, out there playing defense tonight, which he's a fantastic defensive player. He has been for the last couple of years. He starts in the middle of the line here, at almost a tackle position, gets blocked inside, but is so quick he's able to recover, come out, and make the tackle.
And he must have said, Coach, I'd like to go in on defense this week. Help the team out. So another big third down. Juan Diego converted their first try a minute ago, and now with a couple penalties find themselves with a third down and 15 here, big third down. San Juan looking for a stop here. Juan Diego has the ball at their own 25. And they'll go to the air for the first time tonight. And first caught on the far side. It's going to be just enough for a first down on a beautiful 16-yard pass from the backup quarterback, Tage McKinley, to, I didn't see who caught that football. Unfortunately, it's number 1. I don't have his name, so I don't know if we can find that. Maybe.
I believe it was number 1, who I saw go streaking across.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe it's.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll find a place to mark it. Maybe it was 17. I wonder if the 7 was blocked. That was the only man they threw to last week. And he's over here on the near side, so I'm guessing it was either him or 5 here. So
give it to 17.
Yeah, probably a 16-yard catch for Braylon Fail, who caught the only 2 passes last week that were complete. And then on the ground here, I didn't see who carried that time, but just a couple-yard gain again. So right now, San Juan doing a decent job on the running game, but McKinley got him in the pass there for a first down. So that's twice that Juan Diego has converted third down, and now we've got a second down and 8 as the Soaring Eagle inch ever closer to midfield for the first time tonight.
Well, that's what that power run game gives to you. It gives you that chance to float those guys out in that intermediate zone, 10 yards right behind the linebacking core to make those passes.
And a little counter in the backfield. A lot of moving parts, and the ball on the ground, and San Juan has recovered. And it looks like it is number 55, Remy Whatcott. No,
56, Cash Shumway.
All right, so Cash Shumway getting the fumble recovery. And just like that, that will bring the drive to an end.
Cash Palmer, sorry. And we got Cash right. It's Cash Palmer.
Well, so I was totally wrong. You were half wrong. Now we got it. Cash Palmer with the fumble recovery. Goodness.
I'm going from binoculars to glasses to pencil. It's hard to do all 3 of them.
This is
get better vision.
This is game 2. We can't claim rust anymore, man. And I don't know who to give the fumble to, if it was the quarterback or who on that play, but wow.
Quarterback.
There you go. So Jayton Knight will hand off on first down, and wow. J.D. Palmer takes a helmet to the face on a big hit. Juan Diego comes up with the football, but there is a flag right at the point of the tackle here.
I think you're going to get a face mask. I know that the Juan Diego player had the side of JD's helmet here as he's bringing him down and almost twists it off.
Man, he
watch on the replay right there. See that?
Yeah.
Yep. So you're going to get a face mask call there.
And then, Juan Diego thought they came up with the football, but the penalty is going to tack on some yardage. That was actually a loss of yardage on the play. But they're going to replay the down. So make it first down and 5. Jayton Knight to the air for the first time tonight, and it's right through the hands of the man who was sure-handed last week, Owen Adams. And that'll be an incompletion, bringing up second down and 5. So Jayton Knight's evening begins with an incomplete pass. And this time he will keep it himself on the run-pass option. And he's going to go down the sideline all the way inside the 20 to the 19-yard line on a nice gain from the 35.
And I love that play coming out. It's the RPO. And last week, Jayton kind of hesitated too much, I thought, with those kind of decisions. Tonight, takes off, and that's the good things that are going to happen.
Quick pass to the right side and a little wide receiver screen over there with some blocking. It'll be complete and goes for 8 yards on the far side. Looks like it was number 22, Javen Montella, on the catch. And they'll give him 7 yards, apparently not 8. So the first completion of the night for Drayton Knight goes to the tune of 7 yards. Second down and short now. He'll hand to Palmer. Palmer hits a wall of Juan Diego defenders at the line of scrimmage. I think he will get a yard on the play, but not much more than that.
You know, Cash Palmer, Remy Walcott, both out there trying to block those Juan Diego Eagles out of the hole. Remy getting a start tonight. He didn't start last week. Coaches felt like he did a great job in practice, so he gets the start tonight.
Knight passes complete to Brenton Buffet. He hits the ground at the 1. The ball comes loose, but he was down. It's a pitch and catch. It's going to be a 1st and goal at the 1 yard line. On a 10-yard, pitch and catch from Jayton Knight to Branton Buffet. So a 10-yard pass will set the Broncos up. And now we'll see if they can capitalize on the turnover. They go to the ground on 1st and goal. And it's Jagger Neves carrying for the first time tonight. And he does not go anywhere. In fact, he might have lost a yard on the play.
Back to the line of scrimmage. Goal for the Broncos.
So no gain on the play. 2nd down and goal. Jayton Knight dials his own number, and he scampers in untouched off right guard for the first touchdown of the night. It's 6-0 San Juan. Not quite 7 minutes into the game, and it's Jayton Knight's 2nd rushing touchdown of the season.
And a great job there by Walcott up front and Palmer. That was a huge hole. I could have ran through that thing. So great job. That close to the goal line, it's really hard to get that space because you, as a defense, you know you're going to run that up your face. And for those two to just get out there and blow those holes open, kudos to those big linemen.
So the Broncos, kind of a rare scenario here. They don't receive the kick to start the game, but not rare, at least what we've come to be used to from this team. They take the early lead here, 6-0. And I did not see if the kick was good.
Going to be encroachment on the defense.
Okay, so
before the kick, the whistle blew, but I think the kick was good.
Last week, and yeah, I don't know, so they may take it because last week, boy, extra points were at a premium, that's for sure. No, they're going to go for 2. That's what the Matrix says. So
it's funny because in the JV game, they wanted to go jump off sides, and Coach Bowering and Coach Christensen were sitting up here in the booth, and I looked back and I said, "Don't you supposed to go for 2 here?" And they still kicked it, and they just kind of chuckled. So,
well, they're going to go for 2 right here, up 6-0, 5:06 to go in the opening quarter. And so the offense will line up here, trying to tally the first extra points for any team involving a San Juan game of the season. Nobody scored last week. Now false start on San Juan
on the center.
now does it go back to a kick? What's the Matrix say on that? Well,
no, you're already out there. Just go for it. But, yeah, false start on the center. You try to double clutch that poor kid. I've been there many a times.
Well, I'm going to say the PAT play needs some practice. Struggle early. I guess if you score enough touchdowns, it doesn't matter. But they're going to keep the offense out there going for 2. Empty set for Jayton Knight. Works from the shotgun. Throws to the left. It's complete. No, it's not. The ball hit the turf in traffic. I thought he threaded the needle in there to Bethea, but hit the turf, no good. So the trend of no PATs continues.
Yeah, looking at this on replay, just by my naked eye, I thought that he might have been Superman out there because 33 was draped on him like a cape, and
yeah,
I think so. I think there could have been a little bit of pass interference, but hey, still got to bring that ball in, right?
That's right.
What heroes are made of.
That's right. Well, we do welcome you in. San Juan is now up 6-0, 5:06 to go in the opening quarter, so not quite 7 minutes into this one. A little bit of a lightning delay to get underway tonight, so that's why we started so late. Obviously, for most of you who are tuned in, you were hearing and seeing the Monticello Buckaroos taking it to Utah Military Academy. And so now we've switched over to San Juan. Friday Night Lights is brought to you in part this evening on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live by Creative Floors, covering all of San Juan County's carpet and flooring needs. Crowley Construction, dirt roads, driveways, and more for any job, big or small, call Crowley Construction. And San Juan's kick is away and will bounce into the end zone for a touchback this time. A little bit of confusion between the two returners back there for Juan Diego, and that allows the ball to flip into the end zone. And so the Soaring Eagle will probably have better starting position than they would have had they elected to try to return that thing.
Yeah, we go back just a minute, talk about that drive for the Broncos. If ever you need the first drive of your game to go extremely well, I've asked for a better possession than that coming out of last week, coming out here trying to establish. But like I said last week, Jayton running the ball is where I want to see him. Those RPOs, that heavy run game, because that's going to open up the passing game later down the stretch.
Well, the Juan Diego offense back on the field for the second time tonight. They weren't able to get to midfield last time before fumbling the football for the first turnover of the night. This time they hand to Archuleta. He's going to get, looks like about 4.5 yards, close to 5 on the run.
And the thing that this run game does is just wears the defense down because you are getting hit every stinking play. And it makes those defensive linemen tired. And that's what Juan Diego banks on, is they don't have to have a big hitter every play. All they need is one big hitter every 5th, 6th, 10th play to wear you down, and then they spring one for 40 or 50 or even 6. So you just got to stay fundamentally physical out there if you're San Juan. If Coach Bowering, if you've got the rotation subs, keep those guys subbed in and out so that they can't just wear on you.
Clock is running down under 4:20 to go in the opening quarter. Much quicker already in this game than we saw last week in Grantsville. And another short gain is diving forward is Archuleta this time. I believe, maybe was that number 9 carrying the football? It was. So that was Roman Rosano, actually, for the first time tonight.
And George McNaughton for the Broncos, man, he was in there quick, and that's what you need. You need to find those gaps and just crash through them, and George was in there. And that's one of Coach Bowering's, he said he's had a great summer. He was really high on George coming into this season.
So 3-yard gain for Rosano, but it is a 3rd down and 3 for Juan Diego. And again, the clock continues to run down to 3:40 to go in the opening quarter, a 6-0 lead for San Juan. Home opener tonight for the defending state champion Broncos, playing another 3A North opponent in Juan Diego. Grantsville beat San Juan, the Broncos' first loss in over 3 years last week in the season opener. And now the Broncos are going to find Tage McKinley in the backfield. And if you're just joining us, it is the backup quarterback. Hayden Mezzinin was supposed to play tonight, but suffered injury last week against Alta. So the Broncos get to McKinley, and it's going to be a punting situation.
And a host of Broncos in there, but George McNaughton, first one in there to wrap up the quarterback and then have the other Broncos help him. So George making a name for himself right now in this first quarter.
And lined up to punt is 80-somebody, I believe, back there. I can't see the second number on that jersey.
87.
And the kick is a nice spiral that's going to come down right around the San Juan 40. I think, is it Jersey Jagger Neves? I'm trying to go into the past here. Throwing out a Jersey Neve. That might be Bethay out there ready for the kick, but he backs off and lets that roll down. And Juan Diego will down it at the San Juan 33. So that's where the Broncos are going to start for the first time on their own side of midfield as they recovered a fumble in the previous drive to go down and capitalize with 6 points. And we'll see how the Bronco offense does starting from their own 33 here with 2.5 minutes to go, just over 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. As Knight runs the RPO, keeps it himself, but not a whole lot there. Might have been better off to hand to Jagger that time going around the end. No gain on this play, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and that was just good defense by number 82 from the Soaring Eagles, Darian Otto. He just gets in there and, just chugs his feet, make the quarterback make a decision that makes tackle.
Yeah, there may have been a hole there for a second, but it closed up quickly. Now, a pitching touch from Knight to the man we spoke about, Jagger Neves, and that's going to get a quick 6-7 yards there. So a 7-yard catch. Jayton Knight now 3 of 4 on the night. And it looks like a flag is going to fly. Going to be a false start on San Juan over here on the near side. Oh, I'm sorry.
It'll be on Juan Diego.
Okay, so is that it on the end here, the defensive end?
It was number 56, and there was 2 of them.
Linebacker, okay. Or maybe he's the tackle. So tackle jumped on the play, and that moves the chains for San Juan. So the Broncos get a first down by penalty. New set of downs now at their own 44-yard line. They'll take it. Jayton Knight from the shotgun. Hands off. No trickery here. Jagger Neves straight ahead. Off left guard, 3 yards. That's his first positive gain of the night. 3 yards on 2 carries now for Neves. 2nd down and 7 for the Broncos, nearing midfield here. Ball at the 47. down to the last 90 seconds of the opening quarter. And Knight takes the snap in the shotgun, play action, and then he hits Jagger Neves in the face, I think, with the pass, and it falls incomplete. I think that went off the face mask.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know if Jagger wasn't expecting or just couldn't get the hands up there, but that's the second
A
incompletion.
little bit of misdirection here by San Juan. They fake the run to J.D. Palmer. They pull that far guard and tackle to give the illusion that the ball's coming this way, and then Jayton rolls out. But yeah, Jagger just not expecting it. Ball comes right into his face mask.
Juan Diego had it pretty well covered as well. This time it's a little bit more straightforward as they set up that wide receiver screen again, and Montella breaks free. Jalen Montella down inside the 20. Flag comes down as he's spun around. If it stands, he's down inside the 20 all the way to the 15-yard line.
So I think what the ref saw is a possible horse collar tackle here. The Juan Diego kid did have the back of the jersey, but he lets it go watching the replay right here. He lets it go before he actually makes the tackle. So I'm sure it's going to be waved off, which it is. So the rule says you can't bring them down by that. So you see a lot of kids grab onto it and then they let go of it before they actually bring the kid to the grass. So smart move on his part, or there's yards added on here.
So that's a 38-yard pass, and the Broncos in business here at the 15. As Knight will fake the handoff, keeping himself off left guard and springs for 5 quick yards down to the 10.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the mentality of Jayton right now after last week's game. He's like, hey, we're not gonna lose because I'm indecisive. I'm gonna take this ball and I'm gonna ram it down your throat. So I think that kid, he's a gamer and he's come to win this one.
Yeah, I think last week we saw him kind of hitting the hole softly, a little bit of doubt in his mind, maybe not this week, that's for sure. And Jagger Neves this time, down to the 1 off left tackle. And so that's a quick 9-yard gain, and the Broncos will have a 1st and goal just outside the goal line.
And Juan Diego's trying to substitute, but they're not able to because San Juan's going so fast here.
Knight takes a snap immediately. The line a little slow to get started for San Juan. I didn't see where the ball ended up there. Was that incomplete?
Yeah, it was a pass to somewhere.
That was strange.
And if you're San Juan right there, you got to recognize kids on the field. Hey, Juan Diego's trying to substitute. They can't. They ran a kid halfway on, had to run him back off. That's where you snap the ball, maybe get that offside, or just run up the middle.
So on the incompletion, it's 2nd down and goal from the 1. This time they'll hand it off, and it's Jagger Neves rumbling into the end zone. Off left tackle. Touchdown, San Juan. 12-0 with 22 seconds to go in the opening quarter. That one did not take a whole lot of time, and the Broncos up 2 touchdowns. And so 2 TDs on the ground for the Broncos. 1 to Jayton Knight to open the scoring, and now Jagger Neves, who really kind of took over the running duties here, scampers in from 1 yard out. And it is 12-0. We'll see if the Broncos can add the point after, and Trip Palmer does, right through the upright. So our first point after of the season, and Trip Palmer makes it a 13-0 game with 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. And Art, I tell you, we're down near the end of the first quarter here. I think as long as we've been doing this game here tonight, I think we only had 2 minutes off the clock last week in Grantsville with all the penalties and officiating crew discussions we were having last week. But we are already near the end of the first quarter here tonight. Friday Night Lights is brought to you in part tonight by Dependable Auto Repair. Brad Stoddard and crew get the job done. Lights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports and a great start for your kids. Also tonight, Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. Big thanks to all the sponsors making these broadcasts possible tonight. And San Juan now kicking off after their second touchdown. And it is caught at the 7-yard line and will be returned by Braylon Fail. And he's not failing. He is going to take a hit here out of bounds. And I think San Juan's fortunate to avoid a penalty here, but it's a pretty good return. And out near the 35-yard line, looks like they'll spot it at the 33.5. So decent field position for Juan Diego. And this will probably be the final play of the first quarter. San Juan with the 2 touchdown and 1 extra point lead now. We've broken through, Art. We've got an extra point on the board for the first time this year.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Tripp could probably jump over the goalpost. He's such a prolific, high jumper.
Yep.
But that snap, that hold, that kick just hasn't been there the first game, but hopefully we're on a trend now.
Yeah, he just needs to get back into rhythm where he was last year, and maybe this is the start of it tonight. Here's the Juan Diego offense discussing things in the backfield. Junior quarterback Tage McKinley, who's taken over for Mezzanine. Hands off, I believe, or maybe he kept it himself and tried to run it, but didn't get much. Maybe a half yard or a yard. We'll give him a yard and benefit of the doubt.
And the one thing I think that San Juan defense is doing a lot better right now is you had Stetson Black, J.D. Palmer, George McNaught all in on that tackle. They are really crashing to the ball this game. And with a run team, that's what you expect your defense to do. You expect them to get there, to rally tackle, help each other out, and stop that progression and not give them extra yards. And so far, for the most part, they're doing a great job of first man to get to the ball, holds him up, everybody else rallies around for the tackle, which is what you need out of your defensive line, your linebackers, and they're doing a fantastic job right now.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter, like we said. Since they ran the ball, time ran out. It's a 13-0 lead for the San Juan Broncos. We'll take a quick break and return for the second quarter. Stay with us, live from San Juan High School in Blanding, Utah. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
San Juan Building Supply has offered a full range of building supplies to San Juan County for more than 32 years. From the start of your project to the finish, San Juan Building Supply has high-quality products for all your needs, and they can deliver. Drop by 1050 South Main Street in Blanding, call 678-2000, or visit sjvs.com. San Juan Building Supply, a proud sponsor of our local teams.
Back live to San Juan High School, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as the second quarter gets underway. That ball was deflected and then caught for a first down on the far sideline, and it was caught by number 15 for Juan Diego on a nice play for the Soaring Eagle. And let's see, I don't know, that was, I guess that was a 10-yard pass there. I'll have to put him on my roster. Actually, I need to switch pin colors as well.
Yeah, good job by Juan Diego recognizing the pressure that San Juan's coming down. They're loading that box up. They're crashing the gaps. And so what do? You run a little roll out and throw a little quick pass that right behind the backers, that 8 to 10 yard range. And it's worked out for him a couple of times here tonight.
And Tage McKinley, who took over for Hayden Mezzanine at quarterback when Mezzanine was injured last week against Alta, is 2 of 2 to start the night. And now they'll hand to Archuleta, and not a lot. A wall of blue and gold there at the line of scrimmage, and maybe 2.5 yards for Antonio Archuleta.
Yeah, Jayton Knight and Cooper Palmer in there to clean it up for the Broncos.
So 2nd down and 8. They do have the ball out to their own 45-yard line, and we're just underway in the second quarter here tonight. Glad you've joined us. It's a 13-0 lead for San Juan. Second game of the season. Broncos suffering a loss against Grantsville to start the season last week up in Grantsville, and here the first home game of the season tonight in Blanding. Lights are on. It's a beautiful evening after these storms have moved through today, and we're in store, I think, for a good finish as they make San Juan jump, but nobody jumped offside, and now a complete pass will go ahead for, I believe, 6 yards, 7 yards here. It'll be caught by number 82, Darian Otto.
Tripp and Jagger in there on the tackle, able to chase him down before he gets to the first down marker.
And I'm going to say that's an 8-yard catch. And suddenly McKinley is 3 of 3 on the night with 33 yards passing.
Well, when you can't run the ball, you got to do something. So they've found some success in that, like I've said, that 5 to 10 yard range. They're just finding that soft spot. A lot of coaches, offensive corners tell you, the receivers, just go find the open grass. You don't got to run down the field 30 yards. Just go 5, 6, 10 yards and find open grass and sit in there, and the quarterback will find you.
Juan Diego's been good on 3rd down tonight. We'll see if they can convert another. McKinley hands off, but a hit immediately by J.D. Palmer. Here's the running back, number 22, Corbin Buckley, and it'll be a 4th down on a big hit.
Talk about a big hit. You heard that in the booth, man. That was a monster blow. J.D. read that perfectly. No one even touched him coming through that gap, and he just lights up that kid.
So what will Juan Diego do on 4th down? Just 1 yard into San Juan territory.
They'll go for it.
Yeah, the punt team not out there, so Juan Diego at least threatening to go for it, but if you're San Juan, you got to watch for the hard count here, trying to get the Broncos to jump off sides. It worked on the first play, and again, definitely going with the hard count here. Right now, San Juan remaining disciplined, and yeah, that was the play to try to make San Juan jump. So my guess now, Art, is that they'll come out and punt the ball here at midfield.
Well, unlike most of these teams that San Juan plays that run the spread, run from that shotgun or that pistol formation, Juan Diego runs right up under center with their quarterback. So they don't have the luxury to get up there, try to fake you out, and then just punch kick it. They got to call a timeout. And that's
Right.
that's the kind of one of those advantages from running the pistol or shotgun is you can use your quarterback as a punter. So now if Juan Diego, I don't know, score's only 13-0. You've controlled most of the clock. It's not that out of hand right now. I could see you're on their side. You're on San Juan's side of the 50. I could see Juan Diego's coach saying, "Hey, listen, we've got to pick up 3 yards here. You know, we've done. They're almost perfect on their passing routes on those little 4 or 5 yard drop offs.
Yeah.
So you may see that, or I think the offense is still on the field.
Yep, they're not lining up in the punt formation. So, well, they are dropping back into the shotgun here for fourth.
No,
down.
they're still pro,
Okay, yeah, I see it.
right under center.
I'm looking at the running back. So 4th down and 2. Juan Diego going for it, and it's very close, but I don't think he's got the yardage.
No, it's not. It's 2 yards short, Rhett.
So they hand it off right up the middle. Let's see who gets off the bottom of the pile. It was Corbin Buckley. Picked up one of the 2 yards, but that was it. They do come up short, and it will be a turnover on downs. And if you're Juan Diego, that was bold. You don't necessarily want to give the ball to a surging San Juan offense here at midfield.
But you got to show some confidence in your guys. You know, you got to, as a coach, you're like, hey, we can pick this up. Come on, guys. Try it once. If it doesn't work, you don't do it again. But what a gap filler. Number 56, Cash Palmer, gets in there and just takes on that lead block and just gives up 1 yard, but not the 3 that are needed.
We got his name right that time.
It'll take me a minute.
1st and 10 for San Juan, just shy of midfield here now. Their 3rd possession. Going to try to make it 3 for 3, and Jayton Knight has a man in Owen Adams. The pass was underthrown. There is a flag for pass interference at the 20-yard line. But boy, Owen Adams had to come back to that ball, which was slightly underthrown, and then he was run into, and that's, I think, why San Juan is going to benefit from the penalty here.
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay here on our StreamUtah.Live, but Pitcher at Palmer crew. If they got that up.
If Jayton Knight hits him in stride, I think he's going to the house right there, but instead he had to slow up, and the defender did not read that, didn't slow up himself, and ran right into Adams, and so that's the flag.
Yeah, those deep routes, sometimes as a quarterback, you want to hold that ball just a little too long, and then it makes your receiver have to slow down his route. You want, on those deep routes, especially with an arm like Jayton has, you get that guy 8 yards out in space, and you just let that thing go and let him run underneath it.
Well, it is a 1st down for San Juan the easy way, and it gets them down to the 36-yard line. And then now they hand off to Jagger Neves, and he goes 1 extra yard here, not much more than that. So this will be a 2nd down and 9. So 1 yard for Neves, who has done most of the running now tonight. That's 5 carries and 14 yards. Jayton Knight rolls out right, throws right, and it's off the chest of Trip Palmer and incomplete at the sideline.
The worst place to hit a receiver, right in the numbers. It just is. I don't know what it is about it, but man, that's the worst place to hit a receiver, right in the numbers. You hit them, you know, where they have to go out and make an outstanding catch, and they'll do it every time, but you put it right in the number, and it's a hard ball to catch.
So it's 3rd down, a big 3rd down for San Juan here. 9 yards to go. They need to get the ball down near the 25 for Juan Diego. They're going to be close here, but not enough, as Jayton Knight throws complete to the left side. Help me out with the number over there. That was Owen Adams. Okay, so it looks like that was a pickup of 6. So that's the first completion in 3 tries. That's
4th and
Owen Adams' first catch of the night. And it is a 4th down. The Broncos lined up to go for it with just under 8 minutes to go in the opening half. And it's a pitch and catch on the far side, complete for a 1st down. And it's Brenton Bethary. And he will get a 5-yard catch over on the far side. It's just enough to move the chains at the Juan Diego 25.
Just like we're talking about with catches, he had to go up high and pick that one out of the sky, and he come down with it. Sometimes those harder ones easy to catch.
And Jayton Knight has a little time, steps back, steps into it, and again, right through the hands of Trip Palmer. And that's two that have been right to Palmer, and he's unable to bring him in. Incompletion brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and I like what San Juan's doing, but I wouldn't go away from their running attack here to get them in 3rd and manageable for those passing attempts.
So just 6 of 11 now for Jayton Knight. Actually,
going to have a flag out here, offensive pass interference, so going to replay the down.
Yeah, so never mind about that. That incompletion will come off the board.
And now you're going to have to go deep in your playbook for your 1st and 25 play.
And again, you don't have to get it all right here, but yeah, the ball all the way back to the 40-yard line on that penalty. That's a big one. That's, boy, that was back in the backfield, I guess, because that ends up being a long penalty. And now, again, Jayton Knight hits Jagger Neves in stride this time, and Neves is unable to pull that one down.
Yeah, and that one picks up all 15 from the penalty, but yeah, just that ball must be getting a little bit slippery out there because they're having some issues catching the football.
And I think the problem, like you said, Art, is he's hitting them right in the numbers. So he's got to start throwing it over his face, over their heads, and they'll probably be able to catch it.
Beautiful passes.
So 2nd down and long, 2nd down and 20 plus. Jayton Knight will run it himself this time. Picks up 5 yards, but that will be a 3rd down and still long. They need to get down to the 15-yard line to move the chains, and that will put it at the 36-yard line. So ways to go here still. Jayton Knight, 27 yards rushing on the evening. He'll drop back to pass. On 3rd down, throws high to an absolutely all-alone Owen Adams. And Adams, I think, mistimed the jump, but he was entirely uncovered on a button hook over there. And so that will be 4th down and 20.
Yeah, a little comeback route. And that was the only, semi-errant pass that Jayton's thrown in this drive.
I wonder if he expected Owen Adams to go another couple yards on that pattern before curling. But at any rate, the incompletion brings up a 4th down and 20. Can the Broncos convert? They'll drop back to pass. Jayton Knight throws to Jagger Neves, and he's unable to make the catch. The ball hit the back of the defender. Again, a little bit underthrown, and 3 straight incompletions will result in a turnover on downs.
It would have been a great catch, and it was a catchable ball. I mean, it did bounce off both players, but yeah, that was a series that I think you'd want to have back, and you run the ball a little bit.
Well, so San Juan gives it to Juan Diego here at the Juan Diego 35. So that's the first turnover on downs for San Juan in this game. And the Soaring Eagle will have an opportunity here, down by just 2 scores. And they will be taking over at their own 35, so decent field position. The Broncos unable to take advantage of Juan Diego's turnover on downs at midfield. In fact, they only ended up with 15 yards there. And so Juan Diego's offense back on the field, and his junior quarterback McKinley rolling out this time to his left. Throws against his body and completes the pass on the near sideline here. And that will be Braylon Fail with a nice catch. Looks like they'll give him 8 yards on the play.
And a great rollout there by Juan Diego's quarterback coming across his body, and a great pass there to his receiver. And out there where only he could get it because you had a San Juan defender closing fast.
And he is now 4 of 4, so he's better than the senior was last week against Alta. And so I think he's taken over fairly nicely. They haven't had any production yet, at least on the scoreboard, but he's trying to get his team now after the defense got their first stop against San Juan, seeing if Juan Diego can take advantage here. 2nd down and 3, or 2 along 2. McKinley will roll out again, get some blocking. Now a late blitz is going to sack him in the backfield, and it's Jagger Neves coming late from that quarterback position and smokes the quarterback.
Great defensive call right there by Coach Bowering. Right when you needed the pressure, and Jagger, man, he came in there like a lightning bolt.
And they lost those 8 yards they gained, so it will be a 3rd down. No, they'll give them a little bit of positive yardage. It looks like they lost 6 on the play officially. And it will be a 3rd down, a big 3rd down here for Juan Diego. 3rd and 7, we'll call it. And it looks like, well, maybe 3rd and 8, but at any rate, the ball is at the 38-yard line. That's actually in between the 37 and 38. It's never an exact science. But a big 3rd down for both teams here. As McKinley drops back, quick pass right to the sticks. I believe is caught falling down.
Going to be about a 6-inch. Well, they may give it to him here. Where the official was standing, he was at least a yard short, but then he placed the ball ahead of his foot there and gave him right at the first down marker.
And that was Braylon Fail, who had failed. He fell down, but caught the ball on the turf. And so, yeah, I think they spotted the ball where his knees were ahead of the ball. But, boy, McKinley is 5 of 5 now with 49 yards passing, and they do move the chains as they convert on another 3rd down. I believe they're 3 of 4, Art. I know you have
3 of 5.
3 of 5, okay. So, yeah, that's 3 conversions. And now they'll hand to Archuleta. First time he's touched the ball in a few plays. And he'll get 4 right out to midfield on the run. 25 yards for him on 6 carries.
Yeah, 55. Remy Walcott and Trip Palmer in on that tackle for the Broncos.
Clock is running down under 5 minutes to go in the half.
You talk about the quarterback for Juan Diego. Most of his passes have come as he rolls out on the run, which is hard to do, even if you don't have a lot of pressure. But a lot of them, he's been under a little duress there by the Broncos defense. And so being able to put that ball on the money while running away from the play, he's a pretty good little quarterback.
I think if you're Coach Larson, you're pretty pleased with what you're seeing from your backup here, who, of course, has had to step into big shoes in an undesirable situation. McKinley this time threw the ball to save his own life, and it goes off the back of his receiver, who the pattern had not developed over here, and it hits the back of the somebody who was there, and that was, I don't know how to pronounce this name, Darren Dang, I guess? That's a tough one.
That's why they pay you the big bucks.
And, yeah, I'm sure I'm butchering that, but what can you say? That's a tough name. So the incompletion will bring up a 3rd down and 7. That's McKinley's first incompletion of the night, and like I said, it was to save his life. There were 2 Broncos bearing down on a blitz. And again, they're going to get to him, but he slips the tackle, now reverses field, and I think we're going to have a hold here as flags fly in the backfield, or maybe a face mask.
And that should have been intentional grounding, too. And the white hat is on the turf, so I think you're going to get a holding here at the 47-yard line, and then you're going to get an intentional grounding.
So the Broncos will have their choice of penalties. If you were to decline, you'd have a 4th down here on an incomplete pass. They declined both. So, wow, they actually did something that came into my brain. That's not normal. They declined both and forced the 4th down here. So now it's decision time. They're a couple yards behind where they were when they elected to go for it. They're just on their own side of midfield now. They went for it the last time just a yard on the San Juan side of midfield. So they're right where they were when they elected to go for it on 4th down on their last drive and failed. So we'll see what Coach Larson does here.
Yeah, big 4th down here for Coach Larson. 4:28 left to go in the half. You're down 13-0. You'd really like to get some points on the board, but you'd also really like to keep San Juan's offense off the field.
Right. And not a whole lot of time went off the clock there, just 30 seconds. So it's 4:28 left in the first half. Again, the Broncos leading 13.
Yep. Coach Larson wants a timeout to talk about it. And I'll tell you my thought process here. You're down 13-0. It's 4th and, 7? Long 6 maybe. I think if I'm Coach Larson, I punt the ball. I put San Juan, try to bury him deep. Even if my punter can get it in the end zone, make him start on their 20. Make them go the length of the field here in 4:28. Your defense has stopped them once. Turnover on downs, last possession. So your defense has that capability. I think you put a little faith in your defense if you're Coach Larson. Go in 13-0, or maybe you punt it and something good happens for you. But I'm a fan of punting this ball right here with the time that's on the clock. What your defense did last drive. Punt this ball, make San Juan go the length of the field.
Well, we'll see what they do after the timeout. Again, 4:28 remaining in the first half. And it is a 13-0 lead for San Juan, and Juan Diego not lining up in the punt formation. So we'll see. Again, last time they tried to make San Juan jump offside. This time it's a quick snap. McKinley rolls out, throws into coverage, knocked away, incomplete. And for the second drive in a row, the Broncos forced the turnover on downs.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. Now you give San Juan a short field with an offense that scored twice. Yeah, they turned over last time, but you give them a short field with 4:23. I really think that they'll go back and watch this film in this game, no matter what happens, and think, hey, man, maybe we ought to punt the ball at this situation in the future.
Yeah, it is an interesting decision. So right at midfield now, the Broncos will take over. That ball inched forward a half yard.
I noticed that.
It wasn't at midfield. I mean,
it was definitely a half a yard into one.
That's like, hey man, 50-yard line is easy. We're gonna put it right there. So San Juan has lost 6 inches here. And they'll start 1st and 10, set up the screen on the far side. And boy, that was close to being picked off over there. As a good read by Loki and Cruz, number 55, and came in and knocked that ball away. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
You talk about a sigh of relief over here on the Broncos sideline. Holy cow, that could have went for 6.
Yeah, and that is 4 straight incompletions now, going back to the previous possession for San Juan. So Jayton Knight trying to get back in rhythm. He's just 6 of 14 for 73 yards. He'll throw on the run, and this time has a wide open man. Then Brant Bethea breaks the tackle and goes all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. No flags on the field. It is 19-0 on a 50-yard touchdown pass.
And that's what happens when you give a team like San Juan over 4 minutes on their side of the field. It's to San Juan, 50 yards is a short field. That's a passing. That's a go deep every time. So if you're Juan Diego, man, you want that back and maybe punt that ball.
So the Broncos finally connected over here on one of these passes. Had a few drops and finally connect. And hit pay dirt here with a big play. And now Trip Palmer will be on to attempt the extra point. He is 1 of 1 this evening. The PAT that failed was a 2-point try. Who is holding this year? It's Nash Young holding. And Trip Palmer's kick is through and good. So he's 2 for 2 tonight. And that makes it 20-0 with 4:09 left in the first half. We're going to take a quick break. The Broncos have taken a 3-touchdown lead now. And we'll return as we've got 4:09 left in the first half. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. We welcome you back in Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle get a nice return now once again from
17.
Braylon Fail. Yeah, he's pretty strong, pretty speedy once he gets an open field, and he returns out across the 30 once again to the 34, 35-yard line. Exactly 4 minutes to go in the first half now. The Broncos up 20-0.
Yeah, we were just here at 4:20, 4:30 something? When the Broncos took over?
Yeah, 4:28.
Yeah, 30 seconds off the clock probably.
Yeah, so just the one play is all it took. Actually, there were 2 plays, I think.
2 plays, yep.
Incomplete pass and then the touchdown. So that broke a streak of 4 incompletions for Jayton Knight. That was a good way to break out of that streak.
That was a good ball and a good catch from some receivers that have dropped a lot of balls, on that previous drive.
Yeah, that was a good one. Brandon Bethea with his first, that's actually his second touchdown catch of the year, going back to Grantsville last week. Now McKinley throws to the left side on a slant here, but off the hand of Daring Ding and incomplete.
And Montella there to break it up, too. Good defensive coverage there.
That's 3 straight incompletions now for Tage McKinley after he started the night 5 of 5.
And that's what you need, your defensive backs, that we didn't have a lot of last week. Not a lot of contact when the ball was there, not a lot of scrappiness. And so far tonight, with the exception of a couple, they have challenged the receivers of Juan Diego.
Clock stops, 3:56 left in this first half, so Juan Diego taking their time to get this play going. It's not a fast offense, and they take their time to get in formation here. 2nd down and 10 at their own 34. And they'll go to the ground again, handing off to Archuleta, who will rattle off 5 quick yards off left tackle. Nice little run for Archuleta. He's up to 30 yards on 7 carries now with that one. Actually, looks like they move it back now to 5 yards. So 3rd down, and 5. Ball at the 39-yard line after that run. 3.5 minutes left in the opening half, and Juan Diego really wants to get points here because they have to kick the ball to San Juan to start the 3rd quarter.
And here's the thing with Juan Diego's offense is they wait for their coach to see how San Juan lines up in their defense, and then they call it in, and they're using wristbands with number systems on them. So each player has to look down and find the number, and that number is going to tell you what to do at each position.
McKinley will roll out on 3rd down. Stops, pitches. That's a beautiful option. Well executed, and Archuleta takes the pitch an extra 5 yards and a 1st down at the 45.
Bumped out by J.D. Palmer over there on the edge, but not before they pick up that 1st down.
That was perfect timing on the pitch that time for McKinley as he was getting hit right as he pitched the ball. And Archuleta gets the 5 yards that were needed to move the chains. So a 1st and 10 for Juan Diego at their own 45 now. And this happening with just over 3 minutes to go in the first half and a 20-0 lead for San Juan. Looking for their first win of this brand new season after suffering a tough loss to Grantsville last week. McKinley will hand off on 1st down and not much. I'm guessing that was Archuleta. I'm starting to see my face as the night gets darker. We're going to have to pop this window open so I can see. No, that was Corbin Buckley, pardon me. And Buckley is not the runner, I don't think, that Archuleta is, but he does get a yard here. He has 3 yards now on 4 carries for Juan Diego. We'll fix our window situation at halftime, I think.
Did you bring your Windex?
No,
you're just going to
open it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was going to get to watch you clean a window.
I normally like to sit in the dark once they turn the lights on in here, but we can't do that when we're sharing a booth. Boy, McKinley with a moment of indecision on the pitch here. Buckley, I don't think, was in the right spot. And that's going to end up losing a half yard as they get to McKinley in the backfield, and he was dragged down awkwardly.
He's gingered to get up, but shakes head, says, okay, yeah, you had number 23 for San Juan out there on a huge tackle, Derek White.
And that will bring up a 3rd down and 9 and a timeout coming here for Coach Larson and the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. We got a couple players limping over there on the far side for Juan Diego. 2:15 left in the first half. The Broncos up 20-0. Looking for their first win of the season. Friday Night Lights from San Juan High School tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, brought to you in part by Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life in the Intermountain West. Napa Motor Parts, get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, offering a wide variety of quality customized products. And Primary Residential Mortgage, with 30 years of know-how, they'll structure the best deal for you.
Hey, they own my house loan.
Me too.
Company, old Brett Barton.
Me too, yeah. Thanks again to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. As another big 3rd down for Juan Diego. 3rd and 9 now. Back at their own 46-yard line. McKinley drops back. Throws as he's falling backward and well covered on the far sideline. We're going to get flags over there. Javen Montella on the coverage.
No, it's number 20.
Pardon me. Man, you shouldn't have told me how good my numbers were last week.
And I didn't see, I was watching through my binoculars. I didn't see he was stride for stride.
Yeah, I didn't see the penalty either.
I like the replay.
Christensen is out with his hands out going, what?
Yeah, I didn't
see. And this is what we saw all last week, is this type of stuff.
Yeah, we're going to pass interference on the defense, but I think you watch that replay 100 times, you're going to say nope.
And that's a 1st down by penalty for Juan Diego. That moves them deeper into San Juan territory, I think, than they've been tonight. They've got the ball now at the 39-yard line with a new set of downs. 2:09 still left in this first half after that tough call against San Juan. So the pass interference is called. Moves Juan Diego ahead and gives them a new set of downs in San Juan territory now. Junior quarterback Tage McKinley working from under center. Sends that's Rossano in motion. And now they'll throw to Archuleta out of the backfield. He broke free. Oh, I'm sorry, took a handoff and sprung free. Man, that was some quick running and a big gain all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, they run that motion to get your backers to spreading out and widen out, and then they just run that same dive they've run all night, but they run off tackle this time across the body and number 8, and that's what that offense does. Like we talked about earlier, you're not going to get huge runs every play, but you only need one huge run every so often, and that's what happens there.
And I'm going to give that an approximate 20-yard run for Archuleta. And, man, he was 20 yards down the field in a hurry. And now Juan Diego in business with 1:45 left in the first half, looking to get on the board. They will pitch to Archuleta this time, and he goes down in the backfield. A swarm of Broncos are back there.
Now, you're going to get a flag here, but if it's within the tackle box, you can block from behind. So I'm not sure if they're going to call a holding or a block in the back, but number 23 for San Juan, he gets twisted and tore up Derek White, but he still makes the stop without even making the tackle.
Twisted and tore up is definitely an album.
So they are going to call a holding on it because it's definitely not a block in the back. Anytime you're within the tackle box,
right,
you can block front, back, wherever, but you can't hold.
Well, that's a 10-yard penalty, so that hurts Juan Diego, pushes him back outside the 20, so no longer in the San Juan red zone. And a first down and 20 yards to go here. Clock is running, 1:35 to go. So this Juan Diego team needs to grab a little bit of urgency here. And I think maybe now Gehring Ding is just noticing that as he signals. And they're wasting a lot of time here, down by 3 scores, trying to get the line. And now they need 21 yards to get on the board. McKinley under center. Rolls to his right, gets some blocking. Throws short, incomplete. And, yeah, that was definitely a man for San Juan was rushing the quarterback, got tackled back here. But second down and 10 on the incompletion. And that is now 4 straight incompletions for Tage McKinley after he was 5 for 5 to start. And that ball just, I don't know what happened there, but
he way overthrew the receiver. He out threw his man. He was trying to lead him a little bit. But
just out ahead of him.
Yeah,
gotcha. So it was a guy that I didn't even see coming. Yeah. I was looking at the dude downfield and thought it was well underthrown.
Yeah, he threw it to the sidelines on that out route and just out threw his man.
And I think the one thing I've noticed from McKinley that may be a downside for him is that he does seem to feel the pressure and panic a little bit, and that's to be understood from the younger quarterback who stepped in his first game. McKinley taking a snap from under center. Drops back, throws back against the play, and he had a man, but again, this time he underthrows the man coming across the field, and otherwise that may have gone into the end zone, but incomplete. Third down.
Yeah, and Trip Palmer actually had the best advantage to catch that ball, and as he goes to the turf and unable to get the pick, but like you were saying with the pressure from the Broncos, Coach Byron has really intensified his defensive line calls here. He's closing that box down. He's bringing a backer up, rushing a backer through. He's trying to create a lot of confusion with that offensive line for their blocking assignments, which when you can close those gaps and make those offensive linemen confused, it puts the quarterback one-on-one with whoever gets free, and it's hard to do that as a quarterback. You need those guys to hit their blocks.
So a big third down once again for Juan Diego. 4 down territory here, but 3rd and 20. Back outside the 20-yard line. McKinley on the run is tripped up a little. So it's incomplete. That one should have been caught that time right in and out of the chest of the intended receiver. That was number 5, Kingston Tabin. And so back-to-back-to-back incompletions now. And we're talking 6 in a row now for Tage McKinley. Bring up a 4th down. And obviously they're going to go for it here, but just outside the 20, you need to get almost all of it here, either to move the chains inside the 1 or get into the end zone.
Kick a field goal.
Oh, they're going to kick a field goal. Wow.
And I
that's not what I expected.
And it's better that he didn't catch that ball, number 5 for Juan Diego, because it stops the clock and gives you time because he's not getting any yards on that play other than 3.
So this is Bryson Newport on to try a field goal, and the kick is blocked. And no good. I'm trying to say incomplete, but it's no good. So I got to see, that was what? That was going to be a 45-yard attempt or thereabout. So that would have been pretty impressive, but of course he had to kick it low for the power, and it was blocked. So San Juan will take over. Now if you're the Broncos, I tell you what, they didn't need 58 seconds last time to score. They've got 58 seconds on the clock here.
But they were a lot closer, too.
A lot closer for sure, but boy, Branton Buffet, after catching that ball last time, could have run 100 yards, I think. So we'll see what they dial up here. Under a minute to go in the half, up 20-0, getting the ball back after the failed field goal try from Juan Diego. They'll go to the air, and Jayden Knight hits his man, Jagger Neves, who is forced out of bounds at the 49, but there is a flag back in the San Juan backfield.
And if there's a flag back there, it's mostly going to be holding.
Yeah, it is, and it's coming back. Boy, that was a beautiful play. That was got him all the way across midfield into Juan Diego territory, but it's all coming back. So down to 51.5 seconds on the clock, and that's an argument too. If you're replaying the down, I guess it doesn't matter. The time counts against you, huh?
Yeah,
So
it actually works.
That's
it
just
works
a fact,
Yep. It works for the opposing team's favor.
right? So the holding on San Juan drops them back to their own 10 now, and a first down and 20. And this offense doesn't show any signs of slowing up. Jayden Knight slips on the drop back, and he gathered his footing but threw out ahead of his intended receiver on the far side.
Yeah, just that timing route was thrown off. He couldn't plant on his back foot and unable to come through that pass. And pass leads, was it Tripp out
Trip
there?
Palmer, yep. Trip Palmer
Yeah,
intended.
And Tripp's every bit of 6'4".
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 yards out ahead of him. So unless he'd have laid out for a circus catch. Here's Jayden Knight on the quarterback draw. And he's got some room to run. Cuts to the far side now and to the hash over there. He's going to run for a first down. That's a 25-yard run or 23-yard run. And now San Juan will call a timeout. Nice run for Jayden Knight.
And I love that. That's what I knew Jayden had that in him last game. And I don't know if it was just the pressure of the first start or the streak or whatever you can say, but he wasn't that decisive last game. And this game, when he's had to run the ball, he has run the ball. And that's what you got to see out of your quarterback, those big games, because last game there was all kinds of green grass in front of him, and he was a little too hesitant. I love the moxie that he's brought out tonight's game. He's basically said, hey, I'm putting this on my shoulders, and I'm going to do what it takes to win the game. And you've seen it tonight. He's had some great throws. He's had some huge runs. He's seen the field a lot better, I think. And that just comes with practice and game experience.
Maybe it's both of them at the same time.
Sure. I see the field a lot clearer when the lights are off and everybody's gone home.
Well, I mean, you're saying whether it was the pressure of the streak or the pressure of his first
I
time
know.
last week.
Yeah, I get you.
Maybe it's both of them. Yep.
I get you.
That's my Forrest Gump for you, man. That's all I got. Of course, we're pretty close to where he was running down the road. So San Juan with a first down and 10 after that nice run from Jayden Knight. Speaking of Forrest Gump and running,
What do you think Coach Christensen's dialed up here?
I
What do you
think
say?
I think it's going to be a pass.
Oh, it's Tripp's
It's-
right
I
there. It's left
think
hand
it's gonna,
set.
I think it's going to be a long pass. Jayden Knight pauses, looks, surveys, throws to the sideline now to his check down, and that was a goose, but it still got to Trip Palmer before anybody else could, and a 15-yard pass.
A nice job there by the offensive line. I mean, kudos to those guys that are blocking up there. Brad Scow, Cooper Palmer, Remy Watcott, Cash Palmer, Cutler Baker, holding that line because they gave him ample time to read the
Yep.
field.
And Palmer's first catch of the night is for 15 yards. He also stepped out of bounds, giving the Broncos a chance. And yeah, I was going to say, I hope nothing good happens here because it's coming back. Flags flew when the Broncos snapped the ball. Why don't they whistle the play dead there if it's false start? Is my question. I thought on a false start, it was an instant whistle and the play is not allowed to continue. And that would not have ticked the time off the clock. And I think that's what Coach Christensen is arguing here, is that the time should not have come off the clock. I don't think the play should have continued. That's a dead ball foul. And I don't know, unless the rules of football have changed, that's the way it always was.
That'd be it for me to argue with officials.
Just badmouth them a little is all. No, we can't argue. They can't hear us, man.
I can argue all day.
Well, yeah,
I like it when they can't hear me.
it's better. It's probably better.
I win those arguments.
That's right. Well, it's first down and long now. Knight will drop back, throw over the middle, incomplete. That was a missile. And over the top of Brent Mathey and was close to being picked off in the dirt over there by Antonio Archuleta.
19.8 seconds left here in the first half. So
now you run the hook and ladder for a touchdown.
Now you run that Boise State special right here.
That's right. Yeah, the down is not the factor. The time is the factor. The field position is decent, close to midfield. Jayton Knight is pressured, and he will be sacked for the first time tonight. So it's going to be a pretty large loss of about 8 yards, maybe 9 yards on the sack.
Yeah, but other than the loss of yards in the stat column, I mean, that's a good decision by Jayton not to throw that up.
Right.
Take the sack, and now
they're just
we're going to get a flag here.
What's the flag?
Well, I'm pretty sure Jayton was not happy about something, and the official just gave him an unsportsmanlike. So
well, that's fine at the end of the period, I guess.
Get a little fire, man. I love it.
So I wonder if that'll be assessed on the kickoff or how that
could
works.
be.
So I guess the Broncos will have more field position than they would have on the kick to start the third quarter. The Broncos will be receiving to start the second half. They're going to take a 20-0 lead here into the halftime break at San Juan High School in Blanding. We'll take a break. We'll come back out for some first half stats. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Life is a series of cherished moments filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
Last year I was at my lowest, going through some pretty serious depression. A couple friends of mine stopped by the house and said they were worried about me. Said they'd feel a lot better if they could hold on to my firearms until things turned around. I think they saved my life.
If your loved ones are struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, because things do get better.
In 1957, Lyle and Clea Johnson founded Lyle Northern Electric. What began as a small business in their family home has grown into the prominent local company it is today, a third-generation owned and operated company. Lyle Northern Electric is honored to have served the people of San Juan County for the past 65 years and is a proud supporter of high school sports.
Blue Mountain Foods is Monticello's hometown grocer and a proud supporter of our schools and sports teams. Blue Mountain Foods offers a full-service meat department, fresh deli, bakery, curbside pickup, and more. Check bluemtnfoods.com for weekly specials and online shopping. Blue Mountain Foods is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday at 64 West Center Street. Blue Mountain Foods, Monticello's hometown grocer.
Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is the Four Corners source for high-quality, beautiful, and long-lasting custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. Tailor-Made Monuments designs custom monuments and headstones crafted with care and artistry to honor your loved ones for generations. Tailor-Made is family-owned and operated and offers competitive pricing. Call them today for a free quote. 435-678-2523. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage and Tailor-Made Monuments, proud sponsors of San Juan High School sports.
Super busy households need super fast internet, and Emory Telecom has just what you need with this special back-to-school offer. Right now, new customers get their first 4 months of Emory Telecom eFiber internet free. No term contracts, free installation, and equipment. Give us a call right now, 270-4021 in San Juan County, 259-8521 in Moab, or visit EmoryTelecom.com. Emory Telecom, Southeastern Utah's strongest, fastest internet connection.
Back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as we get the San Juan Broncos cheerleaders out there performing at halftime. San Juan football team is leading the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle 20-0 after the first 24 minutes of play. The Broncos suffering a tough loss to Grantsville last week, trying to bounce back into the win column this week. and right now are well on their way, but obviously a lot of time still to go. They will get possession to start the second half. It's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair with you here tonight. We're going to have some halftime stats, but first we'll let you know Friday Night Lights is brought to you in part tonight by San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. Also tonight, Bradford Tire at the center of it all at 39 East Center in Blanding. Colleen Kays, author of the 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power, and Creative Floors, covering all of San Juan County's carpet and flooring needs. Big thanks to all the sponsors. Let's take a look at these halftime stats now. We'll start it off with Juan Diego. Tage McKinley, if you're just joining us, took over for the starting quarterback in this game because Hayden Mezzinin, who was the original starter against Alta last week, and we expected to see this week, but he was injured. Tage McKinley has done a pretty good job taking over the junior QB. He started the night 5 of 5. He had 49 yards passing, but from that point threw 6 straight incompletions to finish the half. So he's 5 of 11 with those 49 yards after one half of play. In the running game, McKinley ran for -8 yards. And so that kind of hurt the running game a little bit. He did fumble the ball once, and the only turnover of the game that was early on. It did result in San Juan's first touchdown. Antonio Archuleta has done most of the running duties tonight. 9 carries, 55 yards for him. Corbin Buckley has carried the ball 4 times so far for 3 yards. And Roman Rosano, 1 carry for 3 yards. So that is the running game. Among the receivers, Braylon Fail has done the most duties. He has 32 yards on 3 catches, 10 yards on 1 catch for Garing Ding, and 8 yards on 1 catch for Darian Otto. And that is all the stats for Juan Diego. Let's switch it over to San Juan in that first half. And Jayton Knight was 8 of 18 for 138 yards and 1 touchdown. He also carried the ball 7 times for 42 yards and an additional touchdown on the ground. He went in for the first touchdown of the night, gave San Juan the 6-0 lead. Jagger Neves on the ground, 5 carries, 14 yards for him, and 1 touchdown. So that is the 3rd touchdown of the night. And Neves has also caught a pass for 7 yards tonight. Let's see, among the receivers, Branton Bethea, the big 50-yard touchdown catch, is the last touchdown to go up on the board. Was about, I think, 4 minutes left in the first half. So that was a little while ago. But again, the 50-yard touchdown catch for Branton Bethea. He has 3 receptions for 65 yards tonight. That leads the receiver corps. Javen Montella, 2 catches, but we haven't heard from him since the first quarter. 45 yards receiving. Trip Palmer, 1 catch just a moment ago for 15 yards. And Owen Adams also 1 catch for 6 yards. Art, we had some drop balls in that first half. We had some plays that were called back that may have gone for some of these receivers. And so we've got some guys with just 1 catch. We've got guys, it's interesting, that you would normally mention a whole lot more, but just haven't had a whole lot of mention. We saw J.D. Palmer carry the ball once early in the game, and then we haven't called his name since.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of running out of the Broncos. You've seen Dayton take the ball and take off from the quarterback position. And up until they got into that last, 2-minute offense, basically, where they're throwing every down. And you're right, there've been a lot of dropped balls tonight that were perfectly placed, and sometimes those are the hardest ones to catch. But yeah, not helping themselves or their quarterback out. Those numbers you probably have another 100 yards receiving if those balls are caught.
All right, well, that's a look at the first half stats. Again, it's the San Juan Broncos 20, the Juan Diego Soaring Eagles 0. At the end of one half of play here tonight at San Juan High School in Blanding, it's the 2nd game of the season. The Broncos looking to even their record at 1-1. We'll take another break. We'll come back with some scores from around the state. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is the place for top quality auto body and glass service in the Blanding area. They're now open and operating at their location on North Grayson Parkway. Stop by or give Jackson a call today at 435-485-0069. Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers students to gain the technical, business, or college skills necessary to enter the workforce. At San Juan County Adult Education, adult learners are given the opportunity to reach their personal, educational, and career goals. Students can earn a high school diploma, obtain a GED, increase their wage earning potential, and decrease barriers to self-reliance. To learn more, visit any USU Learning Center in San Juan County or email Gina Grover at jgrover@sjsd.org.
Welcome back live to San Juan High School. It is the site of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. 20-0 lead for the San Juan Broncos at halftime, and Mr. Art Adair has some scores and other updates from around the state for us here tonight.
So it looks like North Summit up on South Summit 13-0. South Sevier leading Enterprise 14-0, which is kind of surprising to me because Enterprise, powerhouse in the 1A last couple of years, and South Sevier not too well the last couple of years, but they're leading 14-0 right now. Millard Delta, Millard leading 7-6. One that we talked about a second ago, Grand at Carbon, 13 all over there. So good job for the
Carbon has just gone ahead 20-13.
See, you have the faster speed. Layton Christian, a team that San Juan could see, in the playoffs, 7-7 with Juab right now. Summit Academy down to Skyline. Skyline, I think they're 5A, 4A, 8-19 they're losing, and then Union and Emory leading 6-0. And then on the volleyball court, Monticello, they defeat Montezuma Cortez over there in Colorado in 3 straight sets, 26-24, 25-18, and 26-24. So some tight sets, but the Lady Buckaroo volleyball players able to come out with a win.
Well, here's the interesting thing. I'm looking at Max Preps and seeing that Monument Valley is beating somebody 49-21, but
yeah, I saw that.
They weren't on the schedule for having a game tonight. Maybe they're just putting a score up there.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be interesting to see if
they weren't on the schedule. I know Whitehorse is supposed to play St. Joseph tonight. I think we can go ahead and say I don't see a score, but Monticello shellacked Utah Military Academy Hillfield in the first game that you started seeing on StreamUtah.Live here tonight and Red Rock 92. Trying to see what else I could pull out here. I know some of the teams, not all of the teams in Colorado are starting tonight. Let's see if we can get a score from Montezuma Cortez. No score. They're taking on Gallup tonight in Gallup, New Mexico. So no score update from that one. As far as the 8-man league goes, no scores in that league either, but we got Dolores taking on Justice tonight. Mancus is at Melrose. And Norwood is taking on Hayden tonight. But again, no scores from those at all this evening. So, and I'm not sure. Those don't sound familiar to me either. So I'm not sure what I'm exactly looking at as far as those games go. So maybe these are scrimmages. I'm not sure exactly what's going on over there. I thought their season was starting, but again, no scores from there anyway. We've got girls soccer score from today for one of our local teams. Unfortunately for the Grand County girls, they fall to 1-1 after an 8-1 loss to American Heritage. And that is all the scores I can see live. So, Art, I think we did a decent job updating, but it's not super riveting, I guess, at this point.
You would think with the technology we have nowadays that someone in some crowd update scores on their team.
Yeah, you would think. And I guess I know this looks bad for San Juan, but the team that ended their, you talk about this all the time. You get in college football, even and other stuff, you see teams come out and upset high-ranked teams, and then the rest of the season for that team that pulled off the upset is horrible. They'll lose to terrible teams the rest of the year. And I'm not going to say Beaver is terrible, but Grantsville shows up to that game last week wanting to stop that win streak, really putting it out there, and then now this week they're getting absolutely demolished by Beaver. And it's like we said off the air, it just shows that Beaver is not in the league they should be in. We know that Beaver should be a 2A team. It's just numbers. It's a rivalry we miss. That was an early part of San Juan's winning streak when they beat Beaver at Beaver 8-0 in a mud bowl, a beautiful game, and then they beat them later in that state championship game. In fact, beat them 2 years in a row for the state championship, and then Beaver leaves the league, and you miss that rivalry, and that would be a rivalry to still happen or that you'd enjoy still happening. But Beaver has taken it to Grantsville tonight, and you'd like to see that come back. And I know alignment is near in the future, and it's just interesting how the teams shuffle around. But yeah, Grantsville struggling against Beaver tonight, so that's maybe the other. I don't have an official score on it, but it's big to little right now. So at any rate, that is the end of the Friday Night Lights halftime show. We'll take a break. We'll come back out here for the second half. Again, the Broncos leading 20-0. They're ready to go. Juab is just now coming out on the field. We'll mention it's a 35-0 lead, and I think that's at halftime. I could be wrong on that. That's in favor of Beaver, by the way. So we'll take one more break as Juan Diego finally comes out on the field to warm up. We'll return for the start of the second half with San Juan receiving and a 20-0 lead. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance your home or property? Ask for the professionals at Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency. Anderson Oliver Title has provided title insurance and real estate closing services in San Juan and Grand Counties for 25 years. Anderson Oliver Title isn't just another out-of-town company. It's the only locally owned and operated title company in southeastern Utah. The owners and employees at Anderson Oliver Title are excited to support our communities and are proud to support high school athletics and activities.
No matter what you've got planned for the weekend, a home makeover, a landscaping project, a backyard barbecue, your neighbors at Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding have what you need. You'll find great buys on paint, tools, and yard and garden supplies, not to mention grills, patio furniture, and pool care essentials. We carry top brands like Clark & Kensington, Craftsman, Scotts & Weber, and our helpful associates can answer all your questions. For national brands and local expertise, you can always count on Red's Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Utah State University Blanding lets you have it all. You can earn a highly regarded degree to work in a rewarding career, all without leaving the Four Corners. Plus, we have some of the lowest tuition in the state and multiple scholarships to help you pay for your education. Explore programs in health professions, social work, nursing, criminal justice, and so much more. Join us for events and learn more about our resources at blanding.usu.edu.
The San Juan Credit Union, providing exceptional financial products in southeastern Utah for over 60 years, is proud to support our local high schools. With branches in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff, along with an ATM in Montezuma Creek, access to those products is easier than ever. The San Juan Credit Union offers checking and saving accounts, bill pay, a wide array of loans, and much more, all on a full-service website and mobile app. Plus, they're federally insured by the National Credit Union Association. The San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union.
Welcome back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair with us as we get set to kick off the third quarter. San Juan enjoying the 20-0 lead. They'll also be receiving the kick, although a little bit deeper than they had initially planned on. Jayton Knight got his money's worth on a personal foul, probably said something to the ref there at the end of the first half, and the Broncos paid for it to the tune of 15 yards here. So Juan Diego is going to be kicking off in San Juan territory here. I don't see the ball placed.
This is where if you're the kicker, you want to try to put it through the uprights.
Right.
just for bragging rights next week at school.
And we did get a late halftime score there. The San Juan volleyball team was victorious this evening against, let's see, that would have been Providence Hall, I believe.
You've only got 10 kids out there for the kickoff here for Juan Diego. They're still trying to – they don't even have a kicker right now.
And don't have the ball either. The ball is not placed. They're kind of just sauntered out here late to stretch and warm up. And just while I'm mentioning it, so the San Juan volleyball team winning their first game at the JUAB tournament, and maybe I'm telling Caleb Carr this, maybe that's what I thought. I'd seen JUAB on the scoreboard here, and maybe that's what it was. That's my excuse. I did mention that Juan Diego was JUAB just a minute ago, and that's obviously not correct. While we've got a minute, we'll let you know that Friday Night Lights tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Crowley Construction. Dirt, roads, driveways, and more. For any job, big or small, call Crowley Construction. Dependable auto repair, Brad Stoddard and his crew get the job done. Flights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports and a great start for your kids. And Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. And a huge thanks to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. As we get set to go now, the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle going to kick it away to San Juan, and indeed it is going to go, I think it went off the upright. It deflected off the left upright, and so that'll be a touchback. San Juan's going to go to the 20 to get started. I'm going to work on the window now since I did earlier. There we go. Now that's a breeze, I guess, but we can, yeah, there we go. Now we can see people, and Art is going to start harassing people in the crowd, it seems like.
Well, now that people can see us through that one-way window, you know.
That's right.
Might as well.
Might as well. 1st and 10 for San Juan. We are just getting started now in the second half. The Broncos up 20-0. Jayton Knight taking the snap from the shotgun from his own 20, and it is J.D. Palmer breaking free with a power run across midfield. One man to beat. Can he win the race? He can. He goes the distance. An 80-yard touchdown run. And Art, we wondered why he wasn't carrying the rock a little bit earlier, and he gets it here, and he sends a message, I think.
Yeah, I think he was telling his coaches, hey, I want to touch that ball a little more. And perfect run, perfect blocking there by his line, getting downfield, opening up those gaps, and just a tremendous job by J.D. outrunning number 5 here and gaining yards on him. I mean, he's creating space there. He just gains speed as he gets further down the field.
That was a massive run as he just broke through the line with power and went the distance, 80 yards. And just like that, 15 seconds into the second half, the Broncos are now up 27-0 as Trip Palmer tacks on the extra point. So if the Broncos score again and add a 2-point try, which they probably would not go for 2, we would be in a situation we saw all last year with a running clock possibility. But my guess is they're going to play it through here tonight. But that was a big run for J.D. Palmer, his first official run of the night.
Exactly. That's what J.D. brings to you. And we've talked about it. You know, J.D.'s my guy. Nothing against Jagger. Jagger's a stud too, but J.D., he runs with power. You know, he's not messing around in that hole. He's not looking to juke you or get fancy. He just wants to run you over. And sometimes you need that dual back combo to get the things done. And what a statement by J.D. right there.
Yeah, did not waste any time, did not hold back on the power at all. And not only that, but you had Braylon Fale coming after him late on the play, and Fale is fast. And J.D. Palmer outraced him down the field. So 27-0 San Juan. We just started the second half, and the Broncos already in the end zone. Speaking of Braylon Fale, he's going to return this kick out to the 20-yard line or out near it. No, I guess he just got across the 15. And so it'll be deep field position here to start for.
He's feeling it too.
Yeah, I was going to say he took a hit right there and is a little ginger. I think it's starting to wear on this Juan Diego team, the big hitting of San Juan. And I see a little bit of Lightni.
No, you don't.
So we're going to just stay quiet about that. Hey, I got little kids. I spell stuff all the time, although I couldn't complete that one. I lost my place. My goodness. So 20 seconds into the third quarter now, and Juan Diego has the football And it'll be McKinley handing off right side, and a nice little run for Archuleta, I'm assuming. I can't see in the crowd down there. It's either going to be...
You've got number 22.
So it wasn't... Well, there's a guy who has fallen down now. That's a San Juan man.
Yeah, Jagger. He's telling the coaches, I'm good, I'm good.
Oh, we had a guy itching to get in the ball game here. Wrigley was headed out on the field. Now he will replace him.
And Jagger, he cramped a little bit last game, so if you remember correctly, he had some softball-sized knots there in his legs.
Yep. All right, well, we'll say it's a 5-yard run for Corbin Buckley, and now flags on second down. It's going to be San Juan jumping offside. That's the biggest run for Buckley tonight, that 5-yarder. If, in fact, it was him.
Yeah, they've got 22 in the back, and he's been back there in the second quarter and now starting the second half here. So he wasn't there at the start of the game. So I don't know what it's a switch or maybe someone's not hurt but yeah, 22's been there.
And this is funny to me now. It's
back.
second down in inches. They didn't, I guess the 5-yard penalty doesn't move the chains, but it's about as close as you can be. And now they'll move it as they go right up the middle, and a decent run here. Another 5 yards. And this time I think it was Archuleta. I still can't see his number. He's sideways to me.
And Wrigley Legilia gets in the game and comes up with a big tackle with a host of other Broncos there, but immediately comes in and gets his name in the stat book.
I'm still waiting to see that number here so I know who to give 5 yards. It was a 5-yard run. It moved the chains. So first down. A lot of movement there before the ball. Same running back, and it is Archuleta. And this time he'll get a couple. So had a 5-yard run, backed it up with a 2-yarder here. And so he's got 62 yards on 11 carries. That's his first 2 carries of the second half. Second down and 8 now as they move the ball to the 35-yard line. And we are just over a minute and a half into this third quarter.
Another defensive lineman down there that's really doing a lot of dirty work, and he's in on mostly all the tackles, and he's getting through stuff. George McNaughton just doing a fantastic job down there for the Broncos.
And here is McKinley handing off, and Archuleta is going to break free. A big gain for Archuleta. He bounces off a couple tacklers, and he is going to go to the end zone. And that is a big one for Archuleta. I don't see any flags on the field, and I think that was probably a 60-plus yard touchdown run. I need to see where that play started on the replay.
Yeah, good run there. Same dive they've been running. They just wear you down. They just keep pounding the ball, and there he comes off that side, springs outside, and he's able to get a big run. And 3 Broncos able to right there to make a tackle about the 35-yard line, but they kind of run into each other and bounce off, pinball off each other. And number 8 for the Soaring Eagles does the rest. He gets in the end zone for 6.
Yeah, Archuleta with a 65-yard touchdown run. The PAT is up and good. So it is now 27-7, and any thoughts of a running clock kind of disappear out the window temporarily as Juan Diego finally gets on the board. So they answer pretty quickly after San Juan scored just 15 seconds into the third quarter. And Juan Diego says, oh, yeah, watch this. And Archuleta went a long way, 65 yards to the house. Bouncing off tacklers, made a couple guys miss, but boy, he hit the hole with speed, went around the left tackle there and was gone.
Yeah, just good blocking by the Juan Diego offensive line and that pulling running back just to get it out there and create that space, and he just bounces it outside. And that's where we kind of saw last week the Broncos defense had some issues on the outside. They were getting trapped inside so much that the outside was open a lot last game against Grantsville. And so you need to make sure there's got to be an assignment somewhere with an outside backer. Maybe it's a, defensive end. Someone's got to have that outside contained within their perimeter. And so Coach Byron needs to give those young men and say, hey, you got to do your job out there because we're letting people around us, and we can't have that.
And maybe that's an adjustment that Juan Diego saw. Now San Juan will have a chance to return the kick for the first time tonight, and it's going to be a good return. Really get the blocking. Down the sideline now is Montella, across midfield to the Juan Diego 45. So a big near 45-yard return, near 55-yard return for Javen Montella puts San Juan right back into Juan Diego territory.
Yeah, nice little answer there by Montella to come around on that. They run that fake reverse wall to this near side, and he just does a lot of work with his legs getting that field. And luckily for Juan Diego, they chase him down, but now it puts San Juan in a great field position.
And they actually spot him just outside the 40 of Juan Diego. Now Jagger Neves will take a handoff, and he goes 4, maybe 5 yards on the run off left guard.
And Juan Diego, they're really ripping for that ball. They know there's urgency here in their style of offense. Yes, they scored quickly there, but it's taken them 3 quarters to get in the end zone. And so they really need some big defensive stops, some turnovers to get their offense back on the field.
Meanwhile, San Juan wants to start the juggernaut here. There's a little shuttle pass inside, and Jagger Neves catches that and goes for a big gain for San Juan all the way down to the 21 of Juan Diego. That is around a 15-yard. I think that's credited as a pass.
Yes.
I think is how you score that. So that's a 15-yard pass, we'll say, to Jagger Neves, his second catch of the night. And San Juan right back to the line of scrimmage on a 1st and 10 from the Juan Diego 21. Bouncing to the outside, or trying to, is Jagger Neves on the handoff. Flags fly as he gets the sideline and turns it up. And so I'm guessing this is going to be something in the blocking department here.
Yeah, you're probably going to have a holding here on the outside receiver. But, again, a lot of yards going east and west, Rhett, for Jagger, but hardly any going north and south. And you're really, at running back, you've got to plant your foot in the turf, get north and south. Even if you only get 2 yards, that's 2 more yards than what you got coming east and west for 30.
I noticed on the play there, Jagger Neves had his face mask grabbed as well, and that went unseen. So the penalty is against San Juan, and it's a 5-yard variety. And now Jayton Knight hits Ben Bethea in stride on a slant over the middle, and he'll go into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan. A 26-yard touchdown pass from Jayton Knight to Branton Bethea.
Second time tonight they've hooked up.
A 50-yarder and now a 26-yarder, and San Juan right back on the board to make it 33-7. A lot of scoring here in the early stages of this third quarter. 91 yards receiving now for Bethea, and the 26-yard TD pass is the second of the night for Jayton Knight. He's 10 of 20 now, and let's add 41 yards to his previous total. So that makes it 179 yards passing for Knight. Oh, and the PAT doinks off the upright, no good. So Trip Palmer had started a bit of a rhythm, but it fails him here. And so it will remain 33-7. Again, 8:29 to go in the third quarter. So a lot of scoring here early in the third. We need to take a real quick break, and we'll return. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Utah Navajo Health System is a series of community health centers providing medical, dental, and behavioral health care to Utah Navajo. With operations in Blanding, Montezuma Creek, Monument Valley, Navajo Mountain, and Monticello, UNHS offers a remarkable variety of services to our patients throughout San Juan County and the northern portion of Navajo Nation.
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural health care, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding as the Broncos kick it off. And a Juan Diego returner fell down covering that football. And so the Soaring Eagle will have rough starting field position here just outside their own 10 at the 13. As San Juan has just answered. San Juan scored 15 seconds into the third quarter to take a 4-touchdown lead, but Juan Diego got on the board with a 65-yard touchdown run from Antonio Archuleta. The Broncos, however, just answered on a 26-yard touchdown pass from Jayton Knight to Branton Bethea. Second time those two players have hooked up tonight, and now a big hit from behind as that Bronco was not willing to let the running back, that was Bethea, after his touchdown catch. He was not willing to let Roman Rosano go downfield, but Rosano does rattle off 8 yards on a nice little run off left guard there.
Bethea's out here on this right defensive end, and this outside backer over here. He actually comes upfield and then chases that down from the backside after the runner had bounced off a couple of the Broncos. If he doesn't make that tackle,
right,
they may go to the house again.
Yeah. And again, that's getting to the outside. I think it's something that maybe Juan Diego has seen and adjusted to, and getting some running backs to the outside just like Grantsville did last week. Now on second down and short, a little bit of a problem in the backfield for Juan Diego. A late handoff. I think that may have been a run pass option, and that's going to lose yardage, lose about 4 yards. Same ball carrier that same time, Roman Rosano.
Well, Derek White was in there so quick for the Broncos that he disrupted that, and he actually wraps up the quarterback. The quarterback's able to pitch that ball off, but Derek White almost with the sack there, and Stetson Black able to come up and make the tackle. Just good rallying by the Broncos.
White and black in the backfield for San Juan. Third down and a long 5 here for Juan Diego, deep in their own territory. So a big third down for the Soaring Eagle squad. McKinley will hand off, and I didn't see where the ball ended up.
It's over there
on the far side.
Down.
Yeah, it'll be fourth down. It'll be pick up a force. They got the 4 yards back. I didn't see the ball carrier that time.
You had Josiah LaPalmer out there chasing it down. Big fourth down here. I don't know how you go for it here. I know you're down 30-37, but, man, you can't give San Juan the ball this close if you don't pick up this fourth down.
Not at all. This is definitely not 4-down territory unless you really want to roll the dice.
And maybe they just don't have a punt team.
Wow. Yeah, they are. Well, they punted earlier. Had a beautiful punt.
That's right. Maybe
they may just try to make him jump offside, but I cannot think that Coach Larson would go for it so deep here.
They've only got 3.5 yards.
And they're going to hit the hole hard, and they will get the first down. So they go for it, and they get it. Yep. It's a 6-yard run for Corbin Buckley. Impressive.
Trip Palmer out there able to bring him down. And something we haven't talked about tonight, Rhett, for those that are maybe watching afar is, there's no Jake Ivins tonight. He's been sidelined with an injury that he got last week. But in talking to some people down there, it looks like he'll be back next week for the Kanab game, hopefully. So, and Jake's a huge part of this offense and defense.
Man, I'm still nursing my messed up ankle, and these kids heal so fast. I tell you, it makes me jealous, Art. There's a little bit of age and weight involved, I think, in my situation. As Juan Diego comes to the line, 1st and 10, they got the ball outside their own 30 now, or at their own 30. Throw over the middle is complete, and a nice shoelace tackle in the open field here. Otherwise, big number 82, that tight end, Darian Otto, might have had a lot more yardage.
Yeah, Trip Palmer able to extend out there and shoelace tackle. And
that's Darian Otto's second catch, 12 yards this time, and that is the first completion for McKinley since the way back in the first half.
And he's that tight end over there that they just use as a blocker mainly, but like I said, they're watching for that, and if they can get him on just a little quick slant and inside go, and they can throw the little pitch and catch there, and they can get 5-10 yards.
Yeah, they haven't used him a lot, just his second catch, but it moves the chains right here as they've got the ball at their own 38. McKinley drops back and through to the right side, going up into the sky, and nearly picking that off was Branton Bethea as he climbed the ladder there and just couldn't secure the ball.
Oh, he made every bit of 7 foot right there on that deflection.
I see Jagger Neves hobbling around out there right now, so he's a little bit shaken up.
I think you got quite a few guys on both sides of the ball that are it's been a very physical game in the trenches down there. A lot of hard hitting. That's what you get when you get a run style offense. You just get, and you're getting banged up from all sides.
Yeah, a lot of beating and banging down there in the trenches. 2nd and 10 following the incompletion at the 38 for Juan Diego. And again, a pass is deflected, and that could have been intercepted. It was up in the air. Is that Bethea?
It is.
In the face of the quarterback, McKinley.
He is feeling it. That kid is hyped, man. If you want to see a kid that's just jacked and ready to play football, he came to play tonight, Branton Bethea.
Yeah, we called his name early. We're calling his name now. Another big deflection and incompletion forced by Bethea, and first time he nearly picked off the throw at the side at the line of scrimmage, and Here he knocks it up in the air, and nobody located it. It would have been interceptable, but it does bring up a 3rd down and 10. 4:57 to go in the third quarter. The Broncos up 33-7. Here's McKinley on the rollout option, and he's swallowed up in the backfield. He's going to lose 4 on the play, maybe more.
J.D. Palmer.
And that will bring up a 4th down and 14 for Juan Diego. And if they're shuffling 4, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're shuffling a lot of guys on here.
Yeah, that's the punt team coming out now. So
you can always tell the punt team's coming out when you're rotating 5, 6 guys off the sideline.
Yeah, so they're not going to roll the dice twice. I tell you, they picked it up. I don't think Coach Larson wants to test the fates twice in a row. And guess who's going back to receive this punt?
Brandon Bethea.
Mr. Hype back here, who's been pretty excited over the course of these last few minutes here. We'll see if he can bust a return. The kick is low, and it hits the turf and kind of hops right up in the air and then goes out of bounds on the far sideline. So no chance for Bethea to return it. The Broncos will have good field position starting at their own 38 with 4:05 left in the third and a 26-point lead. And Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part tonight by Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life in the Intermountain West. Also, Napa Motor Parts. Get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. Big thanks to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. As Jake Knight brings him to the line of scrimmage, working from the shotgun, of course. He'll hand off to J.D. Palmer, and he's not going to get much, just east and west here, and he's dropped for a loss in the backfield.
Yeah, great closing speed right there by number 22. He's been playing offense and defense for Juan Diego, and he just gets up there and disrupts that, and unable to get his foot in the grass and get north and south.
I guess Juan Diego defense wanted to keep J.D. humble. After the 8-yard touchdown run, he loses 4 right here. On 2nd down and long, Dayton Knight drops back. Throws over the middle, and it's picked off. Overthrown, and a big block on the far sideline over there. Now cutting in and out. I think may have been Archuleta on the return.
Number 5.
Number 5, excuse me, is not Archuleta. That is Kingston Tabin with an interception here tonight. And so that is the 5th interception on the season for Jayton Knight. And Juan Diego returns that all the way back to the San Juan 37.
And that's a tough break for San Juan because now you can put your defense right back out there. You put them on their heels a little bit. They're within, inside their own 40-yard line here with a Juan Diego team that's had some big runs here. And so you give them field advantage.
And the Broncos still leading 33-7, and time has kind of slowed to a crawl. Not a whole lot of pace in this third quarter.
And
still 3:22 left in the third quarter. Yes,
Juan
sir.
Diego's now in the shotgun.
They sure are, but it doesn't work as McKinley hands off, but immediately swallowed up in the backfield is Corbin Buckley for a loss of 4.
Yeah, Derek White, number 23, just blows that play up. But, yeah, Juan Diego, the first time tonight, they have not come out under center. They come out, obviously, some urgency here to get back in this game with 3 minutes left in the third and trying a new formation. They run out of that shotgun formation, single back. But Derek White having nothing of it. He's like, nope, you ain't getting a pass off.
And actually a loss of
looks like
5, 5 or 6, close to. And so I gave him the benefit of the doubt, just said loss of 5 for Corbin Buckley. 2nd down, and we'll call it 15. Back outside the 40-yard line at the San Juan 43 here. And from the shotgun, McKinley throws behind Archuleta, his intended receiver. So miscues in the passing game here.
Tyrion Lee, man, he's upset. He thinks he should have had that pick. Watching the replay here, we'll see how close it came. But Tyrion was. The quarterback thought that was an in route, and his receiver broke outside, and the only one there to even put a finger on that ball was Tyrion Lee.
The incompletion brings up a 3rd down and 15. And working from the shotgun, McKinley rolls to his left, throws as hard as he can, and Archuleta with a circus catch as he's fallen down at the 10-yard line, and that is a 31-yard pass.
Yeah, talk about a circus catch, and he's down. He's definitely got the wind knocked out of him. That ball was in his hands. It bobbled up. He was able to still recover the ball, but then he comes down with all of the weight of Branton Bethea on top of him. And I'm hoping maybe they look like they might be stretching a leg out, so maybe it's a cramp, not the wind. So, but yeah, what a play, what a catch.
You could tell they were wanting to go to Archuleta out of the, normally was his position out of the backfield, but I think they'd moved him over to slot back, and yeah, they finally connected McKinley and Archuleta to the tune of 31 yards, and so now just outside the 10-yard line, it'll be a 1st and 10 for Juan Diego. They can move the chains if they get inside the 1 of San Juan, but they're in business.
And this is one of those scary things if you're San Juan, is letting a team like Juan Diego that's hungry for a win, that took a 5A team to the brink last week, and you don't want to let them get that edge, get that momentum, start crawling back in this game, start whittling away your lead here.
33-7 right now for San Juan. 2:23 to go in the third. Here comes Juan Diego to the line of scrimmage.
They're back in their under center pro formation now, where they like to be.
So McKinley will work from under center, and they do that up-down situation. Now they're set to go. Snap it. Little handoff off right guard, and Buckley's not going to go very far. A couple yards on the play.
And you have number 1 and number 2, Josiah LaPalmer and Jagger Neves there to clean it up after a couple-yard gain.
2nd down and 8 now inside the San Juan 10 at the 9. Again, they can move the chains inside the 1, Juan Diego. Clock is running now. Minute 40 to go in this third quarter. San Juan has the 26-point lead, trying to keep Juan Diego out of the end zone for their second score of the night. And McKinley hands off again. They just hit the hole like bulldozers.
Number 9.
First man through. Roman Rosano, another couple yards. Hard-earned yards. We'll say 3 here.
Yeah, those are such quick hitters because you're taking the snap and you're immediately handing the ball off. There's not that much of a delay there. And so it takes time for that defense to react. And that's almost a guaranteed 2 yards every time.
It does bring up a 3rd down and 5 for Juan Diego. They've got the ball down near the San Juan 7.
Wind's starting to pick up here.
Yeah, now that we've got our window open, we're getting it. So I opened the window just in time to start getting blown around, I guess. Might be swirling a little bit with these storms that have moved through tonight. Here's a handoff trying to get around the end and turn the corner is Buckley, I believe, in a nice open field hit over here on the sideline for Javen Montella.
Josiah LaPalmer.
I'm sorry, Josiah LaPalmer. I thought you said 22, but
22's running the ball.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Buckley. And he is slow to get up, and I don't know if he's got a cramp or has injured something over here.
Yeah, great angle by Josiah here to not let him get to the corner pylon. He takes a half an angle worse, or even comes off the back hip. 22 walks in, but great angle, great head placement, great flow through the body tackle by Josiah LaPalmer.
That was a little awkward. I think that Buckley has probably injured that ankle or knee or something. He had an awkward where he kind of stuck in the turf there as he was going out of bounds and fell over. So I think he's going off gingerly, and we'll see.
And he's been their workhorse for the better part of the game.
So, yeah, they've taken Archuleta out of the backfield. His last run was that 65-yard touchdown run. So I bet we're going to start seeing number 8 in the backfield again. Definitely for this play, I would assume, because, Buckley wanted to get in the huddle over there. So he's going to go off for a play.
Well, he's got to because they stopped it for an injury, so he's got to go out. Now we're going to get a timeout for Juan Diego. This is 4th and 4 yards, maybe long 3.5. But right here, Juan Diego, they got to get that first down to extend this drive or put it in the end zone here. And this is a huge drive for San Juan. If they can get this stop, they're going to have the ball deep on their side of the field, which isn't ideal, but it's better than giving 6 points up. And so if you're San Juan coaches over here, defensive coaches, you're just imploring those players, hey, we need everything you got right now. Don't bite on the fake. Don't jump off sides here. And disciplined, fundamental, and it's raining out there, Rhett. The rain has started to fall down in Blanding, Utah.
You're right. So I think the storm has swirled back around. What I've been seeing over here is swirling back around over here and might start to hit us. So it could turn into a bit of a mud bowl out here as the rain does start to come down here in Blanding. So a huge 4th down right here. I don't know this early if you can call this the play of the game, but under a minute to go in the third. Juan Diego trying to score here on 4th down. I told you it was going to be Archuleta. They get him out of the backfield open for a pass. entirely uncovered, and it connects for a 5-yard touchdown pass from Tage McKinley to Antonio Archuleta. 33-13 with 41.5 seconds to go.
Yeah, they just floated Archuleta out there, kind of on maybe even a little type of a screen motion there, where everyone else went to the right, and Archuleta just sauntered on out there into the left side, and no one was out there to pick him up.
So he's got a touchdown on the ground and a touchdown through the air. Back-to-back touches of the football for Antonio Archuleta.
And the PAT is good.
And so make it all of a sudden a 33-14 game. And we're going to have to close the window again, it looks like. And so bear with me here, folks, as we can't have our gear getting wet. So that'll help us survive here. And so, yeah, the score now 33-14. It is really coming down out there now. And the players are running off the field. So the game is going to go into a delay, I'm guessing because of lightning. So I have seen the lightning for a long time. And I mentioned it a little earlier. And now with the rain really coming down, I guess we're going to officially get the delay. So
there's some big lightning just struck, but it's really coming down for those of you not in the listening area right here, Blanding Central. This is a good little downpour all of a sudden, and definitely some lightning.
So with 41.5 seconds to go in the third quarter, the game is going to be paused, I'm guessing for at least 30 minutes. And San Juan's lead was cut a little bit with that touchdown from Juan Diego. They add the PAT, make it 33-14. So that's where it'll be when we resume. We'll take a break and we'll come back out. Still a little bit left in the third quarter. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Let's talk cancer. Monticello, Utah. If you lived, worked, or attended school in Monticello, Utah from 1941 to 2002 for at least 3 years, you might have a higher cancer risk from uranium tailing exposure. Apply to get a free cancer screening today. One screening could bring peace of mind to you, your friends, and family members. Help spread the word and save a life. Screenings are available for a limited time through San Juan Public Health. Call today, 435-587-3838, or visit sanjuanpublichealth.org to apply.
Looking for a new insurance provider? Call Jeff Nielsen at San Juan Insurance in Blanding. For more than a quarter century, Jeff has offered a full range of insurance products: auto, home, life, health, and more. Give him a call today, 435-678-3223, or pay him a visit at 60 North Main Street in Blanding. San Juan Insurance, over 25 years of experience and just getting started.
Desert Rivers Credit Union is proud to team up with the communities in our corner of the state. A nationwide network of ATMs and branches, full line of mortgage products, local decision-making, low fees, and great rates for every credit score are just a few of the things we bring to the team. And to top it off, we are for people, not profit. Come by and meet our team at one of our 4 branch locations or visit desertrivercu.com. We love our communities and are proud to support our youth.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Holiday Construction is your one-stop source for gravel, concrete, excavation services, and custom hauling. We've proudly served San Juan County with quality and dedication for over 40 years. Call Holiday Construction today at 435-678-2028. We're proud supporters of high school sports and our community.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
we are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County.
Let's do this!
Back live to San Juan High School, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, and we're under a rain delay now with 41.5 seconds to go in the third quarter. San Juan has a 33-14 lead. Juan Diego has just scored on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Tage McKinley to Antonio Archuleta. Archuleta, on his last touch of the football before that catch, also ran for 65 yards and a touchdown. I'm sorry, that's not correct. He caught a 31-yard pass, and then he caught the 5-yard pass for the touchdown. So I'm going to take that commentary away. I guess we'll have to redact that statement. But at any rate, Juan Diego has just cut back into the San Juan lead. So the two teams trading blows here in this third quarter. We have gotten some finals of consequence, games that we're interested in that the Mid-Utah radio crew is passing along to us. Layton Christian defeating Juab 21-7. That game is final now, so we're seeing a team in Layton Christian that might be interesting come playoff time, Art.
For sure. They're going to be tough, and you never know every year what they're going to have, and so it'll be interesting to watch some film on them. And I don't know how good Juab is this year, but traditionally under Coach Bowering, he's retired now a couple seasons, but they were always predominantly pretty tough. But you never know. They could be having a down year, so that could be one of those scores that looks good on paper, but maybe not so much.
Right. South Sevier 21 over Enterprise nothing. So South Sevier beating Enterprise tonight.
That's a shocking score to me, Rhett, because South Sevier, not known for being a very good football program in the 2A, and Enterprise, wasn't the 2A for a while. Realignment went to the 1A, and they were in the semifinals, I believe, last year, year before, maybe in the state game, I think, 2 years ago. So a program that's traditionally been pretty good, and so that's a surprising score for me.
Yeah, and I don't know. Obviously, with this rain delay, we're going to have to start acting intelligent. I know, Art, you said that you're going to sing a song for us. I think he's
well, and we just had another lightning strike, so we restart our 30-minute delay here.
Yeah, it's not good. And I don't know. I think this thing just rolled back toward us here, so it doesn't bode very well. We're going to have to see how this turns out. This could be a very late night for us, just like last week. We were making such good pace, too, Art. Night last week was horrific. I've never been in such a long football game, but at any rate.
Well, I was, when I was coaching up at Monticello, we were in a game like this at North Sevier where we got to about the third quarter. I think it was right at halftime, and storm like this rolled in and lightning, and it was just the radar said that for the next 2 or 3 hours it was going to be just a lightning storm. And at that time, after waiting about the first half-hour delay, and it just kept resetting and resetting, head coaches got together with the officials, and they decided to call the game, and we took the L in that one. North Sevier got the W, and we all came home and dried off and lived to play another day.
Well, we have a fond memory of you. Was it last year or the year before? We were in Bayfield, and there was lightning going on, and they had delayed the start of that game. They'd even kicked us out of the booth. And you were over there talking with the athletic director, and the lightning is striking behind the athletic director while I was looking at your face. And of course, you don't say anything. And we start that game a few minutes later. You know, if he'd have seen that lightning behind him,
you know, it's his job to see the lightning, not mine. I've tried plenty of times to get the AD hero Lance Knight to look away from that lightning, but you know, they're doing their job, and the ultimate goal is to keep these kids and the fans and everybody safe out here, and we don't want a tragedy to happen. So,
well, I tell you, I talked with the San Juan volleyball team today, and the head coach was telling me that they had some games to give, so they're up at the JUAB tournament, but only playing in the round robin, and they have swept the round robin today. They straight sets wins over Providence Hall, American Leadership Academy, and Wayne. So 4-0 to start the year for the San Juan volleyball team. Congratulations to them. A real good weekend at JUAB High School.
And San Juan volleyball, Monticello play next week. I think it's the first home game for Monticello. So San Juan goes up there. I can't remember what day that is, but yeah, it'd be a fun game.
And Monticello's 2-0, so
yeah, it'd be a fun game to see the Broncos and the Buckaroos, you know, on the volleyball
squaring off. Yeah,
I'll tell you, we talk about some of these games. We've got time here to talk, but I don't know if you up in the 3A, Morgan High School has taken on a bunch of upper class opponents and just trounced them. And then Morgan will walk through the 3A, my prediction, but then Corner Canyon, big 6A, I think they're 6A, 5A, 6A, Corner Canyon. Coach Carr up there, they took on IMG Academy, ranked, I think, 4th or 5th in the nation of high schools, and they beat them by 1 point last night.
Impressive.
That game was unreal to watch that. So a lot of good things happening in Utah high school football. We've got a lot of good programs in Utah, and San Juan's one of those that, you know, traditionally just continue to improve and make the state a better football kingdom.
Well, I know, yeah, and you're trying to bring it back to football. I know that's what we're actually doing here tonight. We get a delay like this, and we start trying to talk.
We got a half hour here, Rhett.
I know.
Whatever. We can start giving out famous recipes. You know, I've got a killer goulash recipe.
Beef. So just wanted to throw a couple scores I received out. Montezuma Cortez boys soccer today suffering a 2-1 loss at Ridgeway. I think I already mentioned the Grand County girls score. I did. We have some other stuff going on. I know the Dove Creek volleyball team is at a tournament this weekend as well. I need to check and see what I think that is just called the Rangeley tournament, and I know they defeated Moffett County 2-0. So they are at least 1-0. I don't know what has happened since then. I haven't gotten any updates since then.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked about that Dove Creek volleyball program. Coach Barry over their first year, Aaron Barry, tremendous coach. You know, she coached at Monticello for years. My daughter loved her. Takes her 2 daughters over there, and that Dove Creek's going to be dynamite this year with that addition. She's such a fantastic coach.
I am looking at some other 2A scores now in the football kingdom in Utah. Parowan falls to 0-2 against American Leadership Academy. ALA winning that one 42-7. So that was a bit of a beat down.
Well, and Grand County's down 29 to what now? From
Let's
Carbon.
see. That's 26-19. Yeah,
26-19.
that's listed in the third quarter, but I'm not sure of the timing there. But yeah, that is up in Carbon. And let's see what else we have. We mentioned the Layton Christian win over JUAB 21-7. Skyline is leading late in the game against Summit Academy 26-16. So that's a game of interest. And I guess we've got somebody sauntering out onto the field just for fun.
Well, he was running route a second ago.
That's amazing. We just got a guy out on the field right now just wanting to have his own game, I guess. Let's see. Union and Emory embroiled in a battle 7-6 in favor of Union in the third quarter. And boy, they still got San Juan leading 20-0, but we're a far cry from that now. 33-14 in our game here at San Juan High School in Blanding, as Juan Diego has been the most recent scoring team. 41.5 seconds to go in the third quarter, but we are under a lightning delay now. Let's take a look and see if we can find any of the 8-man scores. I know Monticello beat Utah Military Academy Hill Field, but we're still not seeing a score there.
Yeah, it's hard to get those scores out of the 8-man. I would really like to know if anybody in the listening area has a Whitehorse score for us tonight.
Yeah, I don't see Whitehorse versus St. Joseph. I am seeing a Monument Valley 99-27 lead over somebody. We don't know who they're playing tonight. They weren't on the schedule with a game tonight, so that's listed in the fourth quarter. So they're proudly upgrading that score on Max Preps for sure. 99-27, I guess.
I wonder if it's just an inter-squad scrimmage.
I'm not sure what's happening there, but let's see if we've got any updates on some Colorado scores. Nothing from the Montezuma-Cortez game. They're at Gallup, New Mexico tonight. No score on that game. In the 8-man league for Colorado, I'm not seeing any scores there either. And let me take a look. I didn't have any games listed, so I'm not really sure.
I don't think is Colorado started this week or the next
no,
week?
No, they don't. Actually, I feel like Dove Creek was supposed to start tonight, but I don't have my schedules with me. Things change so much in these early weeks of the season, but I'm seeing a bunch of games listed in Colorado 8-man, but no scores yet, so I'm not sure how legit those are. But at any rate, yeah, not a whole lot to update. That'll usually happen after we go off the air. We'll get a whole bunch of scores is what happens. But on a night like tonight where we're going to be delayed like this, we may get a chance to see some scores before we're done with our broadcast. But again, it's a 33-14 lead now for the San Juan Broncos, trying to bounce back. Lightning continues to strike out here, so it's kind of a tough break because this game is going to continue to be delayed here. So at some point, Art, if we run out of things to talk about, we may, at least on the radio, send it back to regular programming on Red Rock 92. We'll have to play it by ear. We are going to continue to keep it here for now. We've got a lot of sponsors to thank, a lot of commercials to play. So I think we will step away for just a moment, take another break, and we'll come back out here to San Juan High School, where we're in a rain delay with 41.5 seconds left in the third quarter here tonight. 33-14 lead for the San Juan Broncos over the Juan Diego Soaring Eagles. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights, I'm trying to say, on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
You don't have to be sidelined by sports injuries in San Juan County. Precision Rehab provides physical therapy in Monticello and Blanding, as well as Montezuma Creek and Monument Valley, where our therapists have helped athletes of all ages get back in the game since 1996. Precision Rehab is dedicated to restoring you and your loved ones to peak performance when pain and injury slow you down. We offer innovative, effective treatments that make a difference. Treatment is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Call 435-678-3869 for an appointment. That's 435-678-3869. Or find out more at PrecisionRehabUtah.com.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing in Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
San Juan Building Supply has offered a full range of building supplies to San Juan County for more than 32 years. From the start of your project to the finish, San Juan Building Supply has high-quality products for all your needs, and they can deliver. Drop by 1050 South Main Street in Blanding, call 678-2000, or visit sjvs.com. San Juan Building Supply, a proud sponsor of our local teams.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones.
Last year I was at my lowest. going through some pretty serious depression. A couple of friends of mine stopped by the house and said they were worried about me. Said they'd feel a lot better if they could hold on to my firearms until things turned around. I think they saved my life.
If your loved ones are struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, because things do get better.
In 1957, Lyle and Clea Johnson founded Lyle Northern Electric. What began as a small business in their family home has grown into the prominent local company it is today, a third-generation owned and operated company. Lyle Northern Electric is honored to have served the people of San Juan County for the past 65 years and is a proud supporter of high school sports.
Blue Mountain Foods is Monticello's hometown grocer and a proud supporter of our schools and sports teams. Blue Mountain Foods offers a full-service meat department, fresh deli, bakery, curbside pickup, and more. Check bluemtnfoods.com for weekly specials and online shopping. Blue Mountain Foods is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday at 64 West Center Street. Blue Mountain Foods, Monticello's hometown grocer.
TaylorMade Wooden Heritage is the Four Corners source for high-quality, beautiful, and long-lasting custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. TaylorMade Monuments designs custom monuments and headstones crafted with care and artistry to honor your loved ones for generations. TaylorMade is family-owned and operated and offers competitive pricing. Call them today for a free quote. 435-678-2523. TaylorMade Wooden Heritage and TaylorMade Monuments, proud sponsors of San Juan High School sports.
Super busy households need super fast internet, and Emory Telecom has just what you need with this special back-to-school offer. Right now, new customers get their first 4 months of Emory Telecom eFiber internet free. No term contracts, free installation, and equipment. Give us a call right now, 270-4021 in San Juan County, 259-8521 in Moab, or visit EmoryTelecom.com. Emory Telecom, Southeastern Utah's strongest, fastest internet connection.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
Back live to San Juan High School, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We're in a lightning delay here at San Juan High School. It's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you back in. But again, no action on the field right now. Juan Diego is the team that scored most recently, making the score 33-14 in favor of San Juan. And Art, we're just kind of sitting here surmising what might happen as the lightning continues to strike out here and just continually. So each time we see a lightning strike, it's an additional 30 minutes on the delay. So with 41 and a half seconds to go in this third quarter, you've been on the coaching side and you've been talking to me about what actually goes on. The coaches will possibly discuss, does Juab want to stay here the whole night? Try to play, Juan Diego, do they want to stay here the whole night? Try to get this game in? Is it a possibility to move it to tomorrow? How's the situation usually work?
Well, ultimately, Juan Diego's coaching staff, they're going to have the priority here. They're going to be the ones that actually tell the officials, hey, we're willing to call the game and go home because they're the visiting team. So I've never heard of them making up the game on the next, finishing the game on Saturday. I'm sure it's happened somewhere in the games I've been a part of, and we just found out that Cortez football called their game at halftime, and you can give the score on that one, Rhett.
Yeah, 53-0 final after one half, and
against Gallup,
and that game called.
Yeah. So they called it, and like I said, I've been part of a couple of games that have been called due to lightning weather, and at the end of the day, the opposing team, the visiting team, they say when they think we've had enough, we don't want to play this game at 1 a.m. because we still got a long drive home. At some point, the officials are going to go over there and ask them, what do you want to do? And they may say, let's let this thing go and give a timeline that, hey, we're going to wait till 10 o'clock. And if we don't get a lightning strike, then we'll wait another 15 minutes and play a game. But at some point there's a hard deadline, and those are just discussions that the officials will have with the opposing coaches, and really it's up to them and their prerogative because they're the traveling team. But and also I think the white hat, your head official, he could call the game at any time. But as an official, you don't want to do that. You want to give these kids and these teams the opportunity to play. But at some point, it becomes unrealistic that you're going to finish this game in a lightning delay. And at the end of the day, it's all about safety, and they'll call the game, and the game will end 33-14. And very rarely, if ever, maybe someone out there in listening land has been a part of one of those, but I've never seen it in the 20 something years I've been involved in high school football since I've been back in Monticello. But yeah, another lightning strike again. So
massive lightning.
Now you're looking, after 10 o'clock for sure. And every time you're looking 10:30, 11 o'clock before you can start this game again. Another big one. I think that my prediction is we get to 10 o'clock, and if it's still going like this, we're probably going to get some resolution out of Juan Diego if they want to even continue.
Yeah, just looking at the radar, I'm looking at the National Weather Service radar, and it's, it only shows, right now, Cortez and Durango are getting hammered, absolutely hammered. So is Moab right now. And
well, there's flooding in Spanish Valley. I was looking at the San Juan County's Facebook page during the last break, and there are some three-step and another road that I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now have washed out. I mean, they are experiencing severe flooding again in Moab, and they've gone through that. Seems like on a monthly basis down there in Moab, they've just gotten hammered with floods.
And I know because they've remodeled their track there. The Grand County football team is not going to have a home game for I think halfway through the first part of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, just looking at the cells here, just got a small section of storms right over Blanding and Monticello right now, but obviously wreaking havoc in the form of lightning. And so that's what's really, wow, that was an impressive lightning.
That was impressive. Yeah, I don't know if we obviously don't have a camera up on the top of the booth anymore, so you can't see that.
Come on, get up on the booth, you guys.
Because of the rain and the issues, but yeah, that was an impressive one. My gut tells me this game's going to get called here in the next 15, 20 minutes. And the thing about it is it's a preseason game, different divisions, 2A, 3A. So, you've got a good look. You've got, almost 3/4 of good football out of your starters. You've got a good look. You've got some film now to go back and build and be productive in your film study for the next week. The other flip side of this is you don't want to wait this out another hour, and you've got kids in there that aren't being productive. They're getting stiff. They're getting sore. They're getting tired. And then you come out here on a field that just is not ideal to play on right now with the rain that came down. I mean, at some point as a coach, you got to say, we might be able to continue another hour, but are we going to get anybody hurt on the field conditions now? So I suspect Juan Diego and the coaches are going to come out here and shake hands and call it a day.
Well, we'll let you know. Friday Night Lights tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, offering a wide variety of quality customized products. Primary residential mortgage with 30 years of know-how. They'll structure the best deal for you. Also, San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. What I want to know is this booth grounded. That's what I want to know, because we definitely have lightning all around. It's pretty impressive. So I haven't felt my hair hasn't stood up yet, so I think we're all right. But we've got some people braving the field right now. So one guy out on the field.
It's raining again.
Yeah, so I guess he's just going out to check and see if it's raining. And the rain's starting to come down a little bit more here. So yeah, it's not looking super great for this game tonight. Just based on the lightning, we'll say we've had some massive lightning strikes that look like they're hitting the ground out here around us. So it's pretty impressive. It's very spectacular. But that doesn't bode well for getting a football game in at this late hour.
Well, and at some point, Red, I got to go to bed because I'm an early to bed, late to rise kind of guy. So
that's that beauty sleep. You got to get that beauty sleep, man.
Yeah, I'm going to start snoring on the air here.
Hey, man, if we withstood last game, we're still an hour away from when that game finished last week in Grantsville, man. The longest game that I've been a part of. But yeah, so right now, just taking a look across what we've got. For Dayton Knight for San Juan, 10 of 20, 179 yards passing with 2 passing TDs. And, of course, the two teams have been trading blows here in the third quarter. And Juan Diego, the most recent score, but a big 80-yard touchdown run for J.D. Palmer also very recently. That was in the third quarter. Let's see. I've kind of forgotten how the game went now at this point. But Branton Bethea has a couple touchdown catches, a 50 and a 26-yarder. The 26-yarder was in the third quarter. The Broncos have scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. So has Juan Diego. And so San Juan kind of keeping arm's length distance on the Soaring Eagle at this point. But you never know. I mean, if somehow this game were to resume, they might come out with an onside try or something crazy like that. Then who knows? But obviously, at this point, we're not even discussing that with the Lightning still striking around. For Tage McKinley, for Juan Diego, 8 of 17 on the night, 97 yards, a touchdown pass. Let's see. Antonio Archuleta was the man who caught that pass from 5 yards out, but Archuleta, a 65-yard touchdown run not too long ago. That was in the third quarter. Yeah, we're getting hit by the storm again now as this just continues to swirl around. Heavy rain, a lot of lightning in the area, so it just continues to come down. I don't even know, Art, if we're going to see the players come back out again.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Buckley. That kid's been impressive in this game. Number 22 for Juan Diego. He is he runs hard, and he's got some good mobility.
You talking about Archuleta, or Archuleta has 127
number
yards?
Number 22, Corbin Buckley. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 13 yards on 9 carries.
But he's been a powerhouse. He's moved the ball for him. Oh, that was a big one over there.
Yeah, big lightning. And we got, of course, these big light poles. So
I guess I'll point out here, since we do have a lot of people in the listening area in Moab, but according to San Juan County's Facebook page an hour ago, they report that half of the Mount Peel Road is gone, and the flooding hasn't stopped, and there's a sinkhole developing on 3-step. So please avoid those areas and
my goodness,
stay home, stay dry.
3-step on the paved road at 3-step.
So it says there's a sinkhole developing, so there must be some serious water running.
That's crazy. I know some folks who live out that way. Wow. So a lot of storms in the area. I've gotten a report from Eastland that it's really coming down out there too. Heavy rain out that way toward the state line. So that's out in the 3-step area as well. But yeah, we're right in the thick of it here now too again. So storms all over the area. We're going to step away. Again, it's a lightning delay here in Blanding. 41.5 seconds left in the third quarter here. We may not get the rest of this game in. The 33-14 lead for the San Juan Broncos as we stand. Again, we'll take. I'm sorry, go ahead, Art.
We did play a JV game before this, and I can't remember what the score was. Anybody here remember that score? 40-12. San Juan JV defeated Juan Diego 40-12. So we have had a full game of football today, just not on the varsity side.
It's a 1.75 games so far is what we've played today. All right, we'll take a quick break, and we will return out here. We're going to keep it here and through the duration and see if we can figure out how late this thing is going to be delayed and at what point it might be called here tonight. But you're listening to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is the place for top quality auto body and glass service in the Blanding area. They're now open and operating at their location on North Grayson Parkway. Stop by or give Jackson a call today at 435-485-0069. Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers students to gain the technical, business, or college skills necessary to enter the workforce. At San Juan County Adult Education, adult learners are given the opportunity to reach their personal, educational, and career goals. Students can earn a high school diploma, obtain a GED, increase their wage earning potential, and decrease barriers to self-reliance. To learn more, visit any USU Learning Center in San Juan County or email Gina Grover at jgrover@sjsd.org.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance your home or property? Ask for the professionals at Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency. Anderson Oliver Title has provided title insurance and real estate closing services in San Juan and Grand counties for 25 years. Anderson Oliver Title isn't just another out-of-town company. It's the only locally owned and operated title company in southeastern Utah. The owners and employees at Anderson Oliver Title are excited to support our communities and are proud to support high school athletics and activities.
No matter what you've got planned for the weekend, a home makeover, a landscaping project, a backyard barbecue, your neighbors at Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding have what you need. You'll find great buys on paint, tools, and yard and garden supplies, not to mention grills, patio furniture, and pool care essentials. We carry top brands like Clark & Kensington, Craftsman, Scotts & Weber, and our helpful associates can answer all your questions. For national brands and local expertise, you can always count on Red's Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Utah State University Blanding lets you have it all. You can earn a highly regarded degree to work in a rewarding career, all without leaving the Four Corners. Plus, we have some of the lowest tuition in the state and multiple scholarships to help you pay for your education. Explore programs in health professions, social work, nursing, criminal justice, and so much more. Join us for events and learn more about our resources at blanding.usu.edu.
The San Juan Credit Union, providing exceptional financial products in southeastern Utah for over 60 years, is proud to support our local high schools. With branches in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff, along with an ATM in Montezuma Creek, access to those products is easier than ever. The San Juan Credit Union offers checking and saving accounts, bill pay, a wide array of loans, and much more, all on a full-service website and mobile app. Plus, they're federally insured by the National Credit Union Association. The San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union.
Back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. And the ball game has been called here tonight. It is officially in the books. Juan Diego is going to be headed out of here after a lengthy lightning delay and the storm just not letting up. So the game has been called tonight. So the Broncos do move to 1-1 on the season. 33-14 is the final. And so after suffering the loss to Grantsville last week, the Broncos bounce back for the win this week. And again, they move to 1-1 on the season. This is definitely a unique way for this to happen. And Rhett Sifford and Art Adair with you tonight. And Art, like I was mentioning, I've never seen this happen. I've never seen a game get canceled ever, as far as I can remember. Yeah, pretty interesting scenario. Obviously, an act of God bringing this one to an end here tonight. So
yeah, and unfortunately, I've been a part of a couple of these now. So as a coach and now as a commentator, so it's something that just happens. It's part of the game. It's one of those things that you got to deal with as a football coach. And luckily, like we talked about earlier, there 3 quarters of play, and so you got a lot of film. You got a lot of varsity time out here on your players. And you got some good looks. And that's what San Juan needed. San Juan did just what they needed to do tonight. They came out here. They got some good drives, some good looks. I saw a lot of good things out of a lot of kids that last week you were kind of, were a little iffy. But overall, the effort I thought was tremendous tonight for the San Juan Broncos from start to finish.
Yeah, I agree. And something we didn't get an opportunity to do last week with the tough loss is call a player of the game. I think maybe we called Van Vliet as the player of the game last week for Grantsville. But this week, I think we're in agreement. We're going to call Branton Bethea the player of this game tonight. He was on fire from start to finish on both sides of the football. Of course, he made 2 touchdown catches, which is what the stats show. But He made a couple of big tackles here in the second half that prevented long runs and possible scores. And he was just on fire from start to finish. Just like you said, he was hyped. He was ready to play football all night long. So he player of our game tonight.
Definitely led in the emotional category on the field, and that's what you need out of some of those older football players on this team is to lead with that emotion. But I believe you're going to look at the stat sheet come Monday morning, and he's going to be up there in the leader in the tackles on this team. He was involved in multiple plays on defense, always out there around the ball. Just a kid that was hard-nosed tonight, and I mean, it could have went to a lot of guys tonight because a lot of those kids bounced back from a huge loss last week, and just came out here and gave everything they had for the 3 quarters they were able to play. And that's what you want out of those kids. You want that resilience to be able to bounce back, something that they haven't had to do at San Juan for 3.5 years. They haven't had to. What does it look like when we lose, and how do we react, and what is that week of practice, and how does that game start and the flow of the game? But I think we saw tonight that they've got it figured out. They had a great week of practice, which showed on the field. A lot more decisive play calling and seeing the field by Jayton tonight. When he needed to run, he ran, and he picked up big yards. And a lot of good throws, and the stats aren't going to show a lot of that because there were a drop. I think he said he was 10 for 20.
Yeah, Jayton was, he was 10 for 20.
10 for 20, but I think there's 5 or 6 of those that, probably should have been caught. So
right.
I think in the passing game, he really, and he has the one pick, but that's anytime you get an aggressive quarterback and aggressive play calling out of your, Coach Christensen is pretty aggressive down the field, you're going to have those things. It's just how do you manage those within a game? And so I think overall, great effort by the Broncos tonight. Unfortunately, it comes to an end here early, but man, you've got to be proud of the effort they gave after last week's because they carried that with them throughout the week. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough opponent next week in Kanab. The Cowboys tonight smoking North Sevier 49-6. That game is final now. So Kanab coming off a big win over North Sevier, and that's going to be a tough opponent next week in Kanab. Of course, we have to travel for that, and so that is going to be an interesting game. Definitely another test for San Juan here in the early portion of the season. They don't shy away from those tests. And a good team in Kanab next week, so that'll be a fun game, I think, next week.
And Kanab's a 1A team, but a 1A team that's been in the semifinals, the state game the last few years. A great program. They've got an Orton kid down there that is a D1 prospect. He's been recruited by multiple colleges, in-state and out-of-state. Just a kid that's a phenomenal on both sides of the ball, offensive, defensively, and the lineman position. And so it'll be a fun game. And I used to coach against Kanab a lot when I was in Monticello. Won a couple big games against them as a head coach and then as defensive coordinator. And it's always good to go to Kanab and visit those folks. Just some good people down there. But I look to have a great game against the Cowboys next week.
Okay, well, as the rain just continues to deluge here in Blanding, we're going to sign off. Again, it's a 33-14 final here tonight on the Win. So, yeah, we'll see you next week in Kanab. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:30 pregame. That'll do it for us here tonight. I want to say thanks to all the sponsors. We will thank you one final time by name as we close out the broadcast. Thanks to Caleb Carr and Lane Palmer on the StreamUtah.Live side tonight. I know there were some other folks involved tonight as well, so thanks to the whole crew over there giving us good video and making it happen for us here tonight. That'll do it. Again, Kanab next week in Kanab, 7 o'clock, 6:30 pregame right here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Thanks for joining us tonight. That'll do it. On behalf of Art Adair, I'm Rhett Sifford saying so long from San Juan High School, where the Broncos win at 33-14 over Juan Diego. Have a great night and a great rest of your wet weekend, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and StreamUtah.Live. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Bradford Tire, Colleen Kays, Creative Floors, Crowley Construction, Dependable Auto Repair, Flights Gymnastics, Four Corners Regional Care Center, Jones & DeMille Engineering, Napa Motor Parts, Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, Primary Residential Mortgage, San Juan Pharmacy, Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Blue Mountain Foods, Blue Mountain Hospital, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Emory Telcom, Four Four Corners Homes, Holiday Construction, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Northern Electric, Precision Rehab, Red Mechanical, Red's Ace Hardware, San Juan Building Supply, San Juan Counseling, San Juan Credit Union, San Juan Health, San Juan Insurance, San Juan Mortuary, San Juan Public Health, Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage and Monuments, Utah-Navajo Health System, and Utah State University Blanding. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and StreamUtah.Live.